all partying up. And it was like, hey, did you see us out there? You see us out there? Yeah, man, the pigs don't know what we got coming for. Yeah, you know the drill. They'll act like they did a big thing, and then the news cycle will move on until the next tragedy takes place. I don't want to talk about them. I want to talk about the people who incite them. Those are the people I want to talk about. Because we're just days out from January 6th.
Know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Insurrection! Did you hear his rhetoric? He said that you'll be going to the Capitol to peacefully and patriotically.
Know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Code word for break windows and break into Nancy Pelosi's office. Peacefully and patriotically. It means to destroy that building. To fight police officers, the Capitol Police. Go attack them. You know what I found odd? It was a day after January 6th when the entire nation was out there saying, we need to put up that plaque to show respect to the law enforcement officers on that day. And then the next day after the shooting, to watch folks from Minnesota throw snowballs and other projectiles at none other than law enforcement. It's like Maduro all over again. One day, law enforcement are heroes. Next day, move, you pig! Get out of here, you pig! Yeah. Yes. Apparently, in the liberal space, both can be true. January 6th, heroes! January 7th, pigs! I can hold two thoughts at once, the liberals tell us. Yeah, that's what they told us.
Know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Yeah, and I know people will say, but he's the president of the United States, Reese, who told them to peacefully and patriotically show their pride at the Capitol. To peacefully and patriotically protest what was happening in the Capitol that day. And sure, individuals behaved the way that they did. But I want to say that if indeed Donald Trump's words, which had to be edited by the BBC to suggest that he told them to be violent, right? They had 4 years to find the audio that said go out there, and the BBC has to doctor it. Take two statements an hour apart from each other. 54 minutes, but who's counting? Take two completely separate lines and splice them and put them together to suggest that the president told them to be violent. And yet I am not supposed to respond when public officials, state senators, who, by the way, tour this great country regularly, hardly even seen in the state that he represents, say this.
I mean, obviously, this is a moment where we have to be on the streets all over the country to protest what's happening to our immigrant community, the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country. And we are going to rise to this moment by being out there on the streets. If you are a person of influence in this country, maybe it's time to pick a fucking side.
This moment requires us to take risks. How on earth are we going to ask the American people to take risks for us, right? When there's a 5-alarm constitutional fire and we need them to be out on the streets, not with hundreds, not with thousands or tens of thousands of people, but with hundreds of thousands of people.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
When you have those words coming out of that guy's mouth, and I have to compare them to...
Know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And then we've got people going to the ICE facility here in Hartford calling ICE agents pigs. But I'll go one step further. I'll go one step further. Before any of this, the lieutenant governor of Minnesota telling her constituents, what? What did she say?
Our neighbors are being disappeared. P.S. Without due process, it is just called kidnapping. Then show up and use your voice. Put your body on the line.
Put your body on the line. I asked this protester today whether or not they are following the guidance of their elected officials. She said no, but she said that doesn't mean that we shouldn't. They are being egged on by their political leaders. They are being told that what they're doing is just. They're told, put your bodies on the line. Go out there and protest. Pick a blanking side, Chris Murphy said. And then when they go out there and sacrifice, also, as Chris Murphy said, put themselves at risk, take risks, they say. What kind of risks are they? Just showing up and protesting, that shouldn't be risky. Going out to express yourself and your constitutional right to protest shouldn't be risky. That should be protected, right? You have the protected right to go out and protest. Why would they be putting themselves at risk, Chris Murphy? What do you mean, put your bodies on the line, Lieutenant Governor? I'll tell you what it means. It means die for the cause. And Nicole here, this woman, this young woman, who took a couple of bullets to the face. Oh, this story gets uglier, ladies and gentlemen, by the minute. Oh, does it get ugly? I'm going to tell you some stories you haven't heard yet. And you knew it. I know you went to bed last night saying to yourself, oh, Reese, he's going to get to the bottom of it. You damn well right I did. Oh, it's beautiful. The story is glorious. And no one's going to report it outside of here. Right outside of this show. Nobody's going to report it. Oh, we've got the dirt on these two. The wife and the wife. We've got the dirt on both of them. Yes, we do. They say that she was just a kind poet. She was just a quiet poet who was sympathetic, empathetic to her peers. She didn't have a political bone in her body. But it turns out these young ladies had more Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen DeGeneres in them than you could imagine. Oh, yes, baby. We got the dirt, baby. We got it. We got it. We got it. And it's so ugly. So ugly. And they know it. Every one of these bozos know it. They're going to stand out there and they're pulling this. I'm sorry. That poor woman, I'm saying from the bottom of my heart, that poor woman did not need to die. But unfortunately, we got to keep it real here, and that's what we do. Or as the kids say, keep it 100. We have to keep it 100. For those of you who live in Greenwich, that's keeping it 100. I want to make sure I get that right. So it's keeping it 100. That means 100% truthful. That's how the kids say. They don't say 100. They do not articulate the word. It is 100. Now you can use it with the young people in your lives. You can say to them, "That's right. I'm keeping it 100." When you speak to the kids. No caps. No cap. Yes, no cap. That's it. That's what. Whatever the kids say. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to the dirty deed. You may have heard that the wife of this individual who was also in the car with her before she stepped on the gas. Because, by the way, I want to make this clear. This is where the ugly part comes in before we take a break. This is the ugly part. Just so you understand. I want you to take this perspective because no one's even brought it up. But you know your good friend Reese on the radio, your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio, paid attention to this. You know I saw it. Listen to this. The wife of Nicole Good was outside of the car when Nicole backed up and sped off. If we're to believe that she had no intention of hitting ICE officers in that way, then we must believe that Nicole was going to speed off and abandon her wife to escape police. And then it begs the question, why did the wife make such a chilling confession to a stranger on his stoop, on his stairway in front of his home immediately after? It doesn't make sense, does it? That's what I'm here for. So we'll break all that down, okay? You stand by. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. We're going to tell you all the dirt that we just found out a little while ago about our two weary travelers all across North America when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Entonces, en total, ¿cuánto dirías que perdiste en la estafa?
Más de 1 millón. Trabajé duro toda mi vida y quería a alguien con quien compartirlo. Pensé que él realmente me amaba, pero me engañó.
Cada año, los estadounidenses mayores pierden cientos de millones de dólares en estafas románticas como esta. Estamos trabajando arduamente para detener estas estafas antes de que comiencen. Soy William Tong, abogado general de Connecticut, junto con AARP.
Visite aarp.org/Fraud Watch Network.
Steve Austin was the $6 million man, rebuilt stronger, faster, better. At Columbia Implant Center in Manchester, fiction becomes reality. Meet James. Thanks to their advanced implant technology, he's living proof of the bionic jaw, getting powerful, life-changing results. James says his new smile has him feeling truly, and we quote, better, stronger, faster. Columbia Implant Center, precision engineering, where science fiction meets modern dentistry. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Why choose Affordable Baths? Because they're the only ones that give you the price up front. The other guys don't. The other guys install roofs, siding, windows, and doors. Affordable Baths installs bathrooms, just bathrooms, and they use Kohler fixtures. The other guys don't. Affordable Baths has a showroom that you can see, feel, and touch what you're buying. With the other guys, you'll never see your salesperson after you sign the deal. At Affordable Baths, they're with you every step of the way. So the question is not why would you buy from Affordable Baths, it's when will you work with Affordable Baths. Keep it affordable at AffordableBaths.com.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right, you can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
And now, a WTIC news update.
45 degrees at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the mid-40s this afternoon, low in the upper 20s tonight. There's another dispute related to yesterday's ICE shooting of a 37-year-old Minnesota woman in a car. Democratic Governor Tim Walz says federal officials are blocking the state from investigating as it seeks accountability for the shooter. Vice President Vance claims this afternoon the shooter has absolute immunity from prosecution. The White House is steadfastly sticking to its story that the ICE agent who shot Renee Good was responding to a domestic terror attack and was shooting in self-defense. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem speaking in New York. Sorry, something going on with my audio, so we'll get that audio later. President Trump says Good ran over the shooter, which is not backed up by the video. Several groups will be protesting ICE today in Connecticut. The New Haven Immigrants Coalition will gather at 4 p.m. at the New Haven Courthouse. There are gatherings in New London and Hartford, where there's a 6 p.m. vigil at the ICE Fieldhouse. The Senate advances a resolution that would limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks on Venezuela. The vote 52-47, with 5 Republicans joining Democrats. Online, President Trump lashed out, saying the 5 should never be elected again, calling their vote stupidity. Trump tells the New York Times U.S. oversight over Venezuela could last for years. A stray bullet killed a person last night in Danbury. A city official says a gun was fired inside a townhouse. The bullet traveled through the wall, fatally striking a neighbor. It happened around 8:30 p.m. on Lake Avenue. The official says the shooter left the scene and is being sought by police. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 270 points. The S&P is down 3, and the NASDAQ is down 146. Let's try the WTIC forecast. Audio not happening this time, folks. Sorry. It's sunny, high in the mid-40s this afternoon, low in the upper 20s tonight, mid-40s again tomorrow with some precipitation early. Right now it is 45 degrees in Hartford. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
New year, new goals. But what about a new view? Now is the perfect time to finally plan that remodel with Cristino Kitchens. Whether you're dreaming of a chef-inspired kitchen or a spa-like bathroom, a professional remodel breathes new life into your home. Located in Glastonbury, Cristino Kitchens is locally owned with over 35 years of award-winning experience. From first sketch to final tile, our expert team handles every step with precision and care. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit CristinoKitchens.com.
When it comes to painting your home, do not do it yourself. Call the pros at CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business independently owned and operated, and they provide worry-free, excellent work. They are so clean, and it's all at the right price. I mean, with over 70,000 five-star reviews, the proof is in their painting. And it's so easy to schedule your free estimate for painting the outside or inside of your home or business. Just go online to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Hola, amigos! It's a big noise. Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
As the owner, coach, and quarterback of your small business, you call the shots. From inventory to payroll and more. Now it's time to bring in LendSeek, your funding MVP. No delay of game here. Get up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com, LENDSEEK.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Roseanne's going to join us now. Should I just actually, let me just bring you in right now. How you doing, my wife?
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I am fired up.
Yeah, so Roseanne is going on her first assignment, and we are bringing her some protections because
I got a big old mouth.
Yeah, yes, she does, but I'm trying to train her not to get emotional, just go out there and ask questions. She will be at the protest and rally today. That's going to take place at 6 o'clock today, but there are going to be people gathering as early as 4:30. So she's going to leave here about that time, going to get there, and we'll have her on the air roughly at about 5 o'clock. She'll call in to tell us what's going on, the people she's spoken to find out what the all-around feel is there. If it's rabble-rousers, if it's over the top, if people are just being peaceful and protesting, or whether or not it's, the usual Black Lives Matter, anarchist, Antifa flair. But we are sending her out there with protection, and
Right,
I want to
wrap me
thank
in a big old condom.
I want to thank Sam the Man and Adam 12 for providing said protection. Please do not let anybody say anything or do anything to my baby, because I'm telling you, I would have to get fired afterwards, without a doubt.
I would not let that happen.
Yeah,
I
I'm
promise.
not, just letting you know. So congratulations. You are going to go out there and be our intrepid reporter.
I'm going to be good. I promise.
I know. Yeah, I believe you. Let me let you in on a little bit of dirt here. So there has been some exclusive reporting that has come out about the wives that were involved here in the shooting in Minneapolis yesterday. And this, as everyone tried to, do you need to go grab that? Go ahead, go do your thing. There has been a lot of speculation about what these women were doing there, as a lot of people have tried to suggest, no, they had nothing to do with the protests. No, they weren't impeding, traffic in any way with the ICE agents. Oh, she just happened to cross them. She was waving off some ICE agents, but she was in the way with this one. She meant no harm. But as you do know, and many of you have seen, the Daily Mail managed to get a very viral video of the young woman, the wife of one of the individuals, the wife of the dead woman, and she is crying and sobbing and screaming as she is talking to a young man, I believe a young black male, who's asking her, hey, were you in a car with her? Because he saw her leave the car. Were you in the car with her? Yes, that's my wife, she screams. And he's like, do you know who, can you contact someone? She says, no, we just moved around here. We don't know anyone here, she says, which I found odd. What the hell is she doing there if she's not from around there? Well, some digging has been done, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and I must mention this. While she's being videotaped from behind and she is screaming about this, Nicole Good's wife is saying, this is my fault. I made her come. As you heard yesterday, other witnesses said that she was doing a good job, Nicole was, in blocking ICE from doing what they're supposed to do, their job.
She was doing a good job doing what she was put out there for.
That's correct. She was doing a good job. It was her job to stop ICE. In fact, That is what many have instructed these protesters to do. To go out there and to impede ICE. Need an example? Here, I've got one. Let me see if I have this audio here. Is it this guy? Yeah, it should be this one. Here's this guy in Philly.
We need to be out here with the community marching. We need to be out here with the community marching in the streets and saying that we will not abide this. We need to use our authority and our position to stand in front and block ICE from taking neighbors whenever possible.
So that's the role of these activists, to block ICE, to keep them from doing their job, which was clearly here. Now, while everyone else is trying to tell you that these individuals, or this particular woman, the dead woman, Nicole, was just some poet who just got, for some odd reason, stuck in all of this. And again, if this is true, when the ICE agents are approaching her, if she had no ill will to them, if she was not there in any way to impede them or to stop them, and this was just a happenstance, when two law enforcement officers come up to your car, why would a peaceful woman who obeys the law, who had nothing more in her background than a traffic ticket, why would she evade when she is giving a lawful order to get out of the car? It is uncharacteristic for someone who is not someone there to incite something or to impede the authority or the works of ICE agents. This is not normal. Okay? Can we get to the bottom of it? Again, this woman got nothing more than a traffic ticket in her life. She is the mother of 3. Okay? She's a good, peaceful, nice woman who's a poet. But yet, her wife says, I made her come down here. This is my fault. You're right, she probably did. But I'll go one step further, ladies and gentlemen. According to the UK Daily Mail, the wife who brought ICE shooting victim Renee Nicole Good to Minneapolis protest is named as a handywoman, 40 years old, as depths of couples' disdain for Trump is revealed. Disdain for Trump? What kind of disdain are they talking about? Well, according to reports, both of these women left the United States to live in Canada because of the election of Donald Trump. Hence my reference to Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell. Yes, that's right. These women hated Trump and they left the country, but soon returned. Turns out they only lasted a few months, maybe 8 at best, but they came back. And the wife here, who's saying that I made her come, the objective was to come down to the United States because this wife was outraged at what was happening with ICE agents. And they were going down there to do their job. And also this reference of them being legal observers. We checked. Ilhan Omar and other public officials are saying this on their X page, that these 2 women were nothing more than legal observers. Well, it turns out that's not true either. In order to be a legal observer, you must be seen wearing a lime green hat, either a knit cap or a baseball cap that shows the organization that you're working for. And the reason why those people are there, they are not there to obstruct justice or to impede ICE officers. They are there to make sure that they film and document what ICE agents are doing to the illegals that they're grabbing. That's what they're there for. That's the capacity of those individuals. And they must be assigned by the actual legal observer corporation. And neither of these women were. They were just rabble-rousers. They just were. They went down there as radical protesters trying to impede ICE. That's it in a nutshell. And again, it begs the question. A peaceful woman, which very well she might have been. Again, never having any issue with police. Never. Once. Aside from a traffic ticket. And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart, which makes this so crazy, that if you had found out later on that this woman was always being arrested by police and always involved in some sort of police action, where she's getting into fights with police, where she's pepper spray, where she's running around with, she was a paid and what's the name, like sort of like a known protester. No, this is just some woman, mother of 3 children, who was completely influenced, clearly influenced by her wife, because her wife said it all. I made her come down here. This is my fault. And again, still begs the question, why does Nicole Good speed away? She had done nothing wrong. According to you, all you people who seem to know what was in her hearts and mind, she didn't do nothing.
She ain't do nothing.
Okay, whatever. But she didn't do anything, right? She doesn't have to obey an order from an ICE agent, but that doesn't make any sense because she wasn't impeding traffic, according to you. She was not aiding and abetting illegals in any way. No, she was not obstructing justice. So please explain to me that somebody who's got nothing more than a traffic ticket decided to speed off as officers tell her to get out of the car. She was afraid of what? Of what? There are cameras everywhere. Her wife is filming the event. And again, she's speeding off. Remember, she's a loving, caring person. Why would she abandon her own wife?
Let you abandon me somewhere.
Why would you?
In the cold. In a dangerous situation where there are armed people, law enforcement or not.
Yeah.
Would you allow me, first of all, I'm trying to imagine, I'm putting myself, I'm trying to get out of the vehicle while you're driving, right? You stop and you're like, come on, guys, go in front. Don't let ICE go through. I'm going to hold them here. And I'm like, you know what? You stay there, Reese. I'm going to get out and I'm going to get behind your car. I'm going to get behind our car and I'm going to film everything with my phone.
Exactly.
And then you're just going to drive away and I'll meet you later. I'll get one of these guys to drive me to the I mean, how do you coordinate that?
That's all I'm saying. It's like we're talking about everyone who is describing this woman who, by the way, you didn't know before yesterday. You describe her as a saint, but yet her behavior live on camera is that of a getaway driver after a bank heist. Somebody explain that to me. Police officers are everywhere telling you to stop, and she is doing what is known by a common criminal who is trying to get away. You know? Like, we're talking like stuff that we see in New Haven, stuff we see in Bridgeport. Like, come on, let's be honest.
I don't know these places.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, well.
Like PG County?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like the west side of
Exactly.
Right, okay.
So the behavior of this woman, again, docile, innocent, right? You are going to tell me, you are trying, and again, we're talking about fair-minded individuals, okay? We have a saying, right, that you're stretching a bit on the description of this woman. Let's be honest, folks. You're going above and beyond to place an identity or a characteristic on a woman you don't know. And as we find out more and more about this woman from her mom, remember her mom? Her mom is in this thing saying, that's stupid. She's not some protester. This is uncharacteristic of my daughter. Okay, Mom, I'm believing you. So please explain to me why she sped off when a police officer told her to get out of the car.
Oh, well, they're trying to say that she was scared. She's so scared that the vehicle lurched forward. It lurched. It just, like
no,
that.
no.
Like it lurched forward.
Right. The car goes in reverse first.
Scared.
So, again, there are several actions that come here. The police officer tells her to stop. So you're telling me she puts it in reverse to remove back because we all see the lights go on. She puts the car in reverse, reverses it because she's scared.
Right, because park is forward and reverses. When you're
whatever the case may be,
right.
These are actions taken by the individual. When she backs it up, by the way, and let me make this abundantly clear, the police did not shoot when she backed up.
No.
Nobody pulled out a gun when she backed up, did
No.
they?
The officer had his hand inside. You can clearly see one officer has his hand on the handle and the other hand is inside reaching for the door
Exactly.
lock.
When the car backs up, nobody pulls a gun. Only when the car lurches forward is there a gun ever displayed. Because, again, if the intent was to kill her, if the intent was it, because I'm saying to myself, at that point, if we're saying that the officer was looking for a reason to murder this woman.
All he was there to do was to kill somebody, anybody. Somebody's dying today.
Shots should have happened immediately when the car went backwards, but they don't.
Oh.
And again, please tell me why Nicole Good sped off like a getaway driver, leaving her wife behind when knowing they have a 6-year-old that they just dropped off to school. None of you make sense. And you know it. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
I can't get the signal. Okay, seriously. Now there's absolutely no excuse not to listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. You can literally hear us anywhere when you listen on your smartphone. And now you can hear us on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the TuneIn app. So pick your favorite and search and follow WTIC News Talk 1080 in the app. Then listen wherever you are. It's really that easy. So no more, I can't get the signal. We've made it easy. WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. I'm trying to fix my thing here. Yeah, I do hear that Governor Lamont has weighed in on this. I just got a text message from this. I'm looking here because I thought there was something interesting about this. And can you do me a favor, Roseanne, real quick, in the little time that we have here? I want you to go back and watch the video of the officer who fired the fatal shot. Okay?
Okay.
Tell me if he's wearing a mask. Because I don't believe that that's ever been brought up. And Governor Lamont is actually talking about that. Which, again, it's classic case of Governor Lamont always chiming in.
Getting it wrong.
Yeah, it's very typical. Let me see if I can, hold on. Here he is.
See the one from far away.
Here he is.
I was shocked. And it just goes to your very core of humanity to see these masked agents go up to this car, window down, somebody trying to drive away, stay out of trouble, and shoot her twice in the head.
So, again, that's very typical of Governor Lamont. As I've stated over and over here on this program, this is the same guy who, in essence, condemned Connecticut police officers for the actions of Derek Chauvin in Minnesota. It just shows you exactly the lack of depth when it comes to this job, or it's like glomming on. He's no better than these ridiculous protesters who attach themselves to situations that have nothing to do with them or the town that they're in. And it's incredible. It's just incredible to watch these people do the usual. Do you see anything that even remotely shows it?
I have to find the video.
Okay. Gosh, it should be everywhere.
You'd think.
You'd think it was. Yeah, I don't think that. It doesn't say anything about the shooter being masked. There were some, and there are some agents, by the way, who do not wear masks. I mean, as bold as that could be, they just don't wear them. They don't care. They're like, they're going to target me anyway. Lori says that Lamont is like Jim Himes. Must be something in the Fairfield water. Sokolowski says, may God have mercy on Renee in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Yeah, of course.
I don't think anybody wants to watch an American die in the service of something that is nothing, right? There are some of us who raise our hands, we swear an oath to God and country, up to and including our lives. Like, that's what we do.
Right.
This was just some random white lady who's walking around and decided, you know what? I'm going to do what Peggy Flanagan suggests. I'm going to put my body on the line.
And that's...
to protect people I don't know. Never mind the fact that if I've posted videos on Roseanne on the Radio. These ICE agents are arresting sex traffickers when they're finding girls as young as 12 years old tied up in bunches in one room with no clothing, no blankets, no food, and it's cold. And these idiots are out here, they're stealing our neighbors. There are little girls in there who are being sold for sex. And you're more concerned about Paco?
Yeah. And speaking of which, I have
Sorry,
to show I have to show this. No, it's okay. The ICE agent that shot Nicole Good. There is some context here, because while we're doing some background on Nicole, it is important to remember the officer in this case is quite familiar with the danger of somebody with a vehicle you are trying to apprehend in these scenarios.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. These graphic images show the aftermath. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his significant cuts. And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz, posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement. The Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022 arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released.
And now you ask yourself, why did he fire? It's a legitimate question, isn't it? Did he have on a mask, Roseanne?
It looks here like the video that he is wearing a mask.
Mask covering?
His
Okay.
mouth, yeah, his nose and mouth.
All right, because I didn't see that. It looked like I could see his full face, although blurry. It looks like his full face was visible in a sense.
He was covering his nose and his mouth.
Okay.
I would like to encourage people to understand that in such severe temperatures, like it gets in Minnesota, if you don't cover your nose and mouth in those extreme temperatures, you can die because it freezes. Like
Right.
the cold air is so cold that it can actually damage your respiratory system. So.
Anyway, yeah, but that particular news report is from July of this year.
Yeah.
So that officer had already been hit by someone trying to escape in a vehicle. Is very, very familiar with that. And
So he understands when he sees the vehicle move, like as soon as he sees the vehicle backing up, and it's backing up and she's got her tires turned. So you know she's angling, she's maneuvering her vehicle for something.
Yeah. But I got to go to a break. Let's get to the newsroom with Dave Mager, and we'll be back with more of this. And, of course, Roseanne, who's here filling in, about to be on assignment on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
WTIC 1080 News. Sunny, high in the mid-40s today, low in the upper 20s tonight, mid-40s again tomorrow with possible freezing fog in the morning. Minneapolis on edge the day after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in a car. Border Patrol officers pushed protesters back from a gate outside a federal building early this morning, firing tear gas. CBS's Asher Karashi has details on the ICE agent who killed 37-year-old Renee Good.
We're told the agent is Minneapolis-based, has more than 10 years on the job, and was also involved in a separate use of force incident during a traffic stop last June when he was dragged by a suspect during an arrest. He suffered significant lacerations in that incident that required 33 stitches.
The shooter walked up and down the street just after the shooting but did not seek medical attention for the victim. In fact, agents denied her medical attention as she bled to death. CBS's Matt Gutman says that's a big concern for the protesters.
People in the community here are telling us that the source of their anger was absolutely seeing somebody not being tended to when they obviously had extremely serious wounds and when they had medical personnel who could have attended them but were not allowed to do so.
The White House has said this was a domestic terror attack. The president has made several false claims about the victim, including that she ran over the ICE agent just before the shooting. This is Vice President J.D. Vance this afternoon.
What we're going to do is make it easier for the American People's Administration to enforce the American People's law. And that means that Democrats have to stop rallying the mob against legitimate law enforcement operations.
Video shows the ICE agent positioning himself in front of Good's SUV. Connecticut State Police Commissioner Ron L. Higgins says state law regarding police officers' use of deadly force is clear.
It is prohibited for police officers in the state of Connecticut to place themselves intentionally in front of a moving vehicle. It is also not permissible for a police officer to shoot at a moving vehicle unless there is a threat beyond that moving vehicle.
Higgins was a guest this morning on WTIC's Brian and Company. Several groups will be protesting ICE today in Connecticut. The New Haven Immigrants Coalition will gather at 4 at the New Haven Courthouse. There are gatherings in New London and Hartford, where there's a 6 p.m. vigil at the ICE Fieldhouse. The Senate advanced a resolution that would limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks against Venezuela. The vote 52-47 with 5 Republicans joining Democrats. This is Rhode Island Democrat Jack Reed.
Congress exists to provide oversight and scrutiny of the executive branch, not to cheer from the sidelines. I commend our servicemen for their performance last weekend, but I am deeply concerned by the Trump administration's lack of serious planning for the next phase. That is why this War Powers resolution is necessary.
A vote next week on final passage. The resolution sends a message, but it's ultimately likely to fail because even if the House approves it, President Trump would have to sign it for it to go into law. Trump tells the New York Times U.S. oversight over Venezuela could last for years. A stray bullet killed a person last night in Danbury. A city official says a gun was fired inside a townhouse. The bullet traveled through the wall, fatally striking a neighbor. It happened around 8:30 on Lake Avenue. The official says the shooter left the scene and is being sought by police. On Wall Street, the Dow up 230, S&P is down 5, the NASDAQ is down 150. And we check the WTIC forecast.
Partly cloudy the rest of this afternoon and nice for January, high 47. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 26. There'll be areas of freezing fog overnight and for a while tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy, becoming breezy in the afternoon with some late-day rain and drizzle on high of 45. Cloudy and somewhat windy tomorrow night with intermittent rain, especially before midnight, low 37. Saturday, cloudy, some more rain in the afternoon, high 42. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
44 right now. Sports, the Miami Dolphins fire coach Mike McDaniel. There's the college football playoff semis tonight in the Fiesta Bowl. Miami takes on Ole Miss. Men's college basketball, CCSU hosting Stonehill, and the NHL, the Bruins hosting Calgary, and the Rangers at home against Buffalo. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner from Money Wisdom. There are over 500 ways you can take Social Security.
It's a little complicated. So how confident are you that you'll get the most out of your benefits? Explore your filing options by calling 1-800-208-SAFE to get your free Social Security Simplified Guide. That's 800-208-7233 to get your free guide.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
When my wife and I got married after both graduating law school, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, but our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today, and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition. It's fully treatable. And at Northeast Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or 2 of your first appointment, and you'll also likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Northeast Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back. Normally we do headlines, but this is a huge national story, so we're talking about that with a whole bunch of other stuff that we're going to bring up in a little bit. Davey, I'm sorry, but we got to pay the bills. That's how it goes. 25th. I'm not really understanding the rest of your handle here, so forgive me, but I'm just going to call you 25th so you know who I'm talking about. 25th is also in the chat room, and he says, where were the cries for Ashley Babbitt? And I made that case yesterday, and I said I'm going to treat this the same way I would, or everyone else treated Ashley Babbitt, and that was, what was Ashley Babbitt doing there? She climbed through the window, in essence saying that her death was a justified shooting by the Capitol Police officer who killed her. And if that's the case, it was like she put herself in harm's way. Now that we know the details that these individuals showed up there to rabble-rouse and to impede, these ICE agents, I'm just going to look, come back to me with the Ashley Babbitt thing saying, yeah, now I see it a different way in light of Nicole's death. Then we'll see it the same way. But right now, I'm giving you the same grace you gave Ashley, if that's okay. I'm just, not you, 25th, I'm just saying in general. I also want to address something that I just heard in the top of the hour news break. So I know that Brian Shackman had a police commissioner, I think, on the program. I want to play that for you because it just happened on the top of the hour. So it's going directly from my phone to the microphone. So I hope it's loud enough. Here it is.
Himself in front of Goods SUV, Connecticut State Police Commissioner Ronell Higgins says state law regarding police officers' use of deadly force is clear.
It is prohibited for police officers in the state of Connecticut to place themselves intentionally in front of a moving vehicle. It is also not permissible for a police officer to shoot at a moving vehicle.
Okay. Second part, you are 100% correct. First part, no, you are not. According to state law, no, there is no blanket state law banning an officer from ever positioning themselves in front of any vehicle in all situations. That's just a fact. So what I will say is this. If we are talking about the events that happened in Minneapolis, right, that happened in Minnesota, the police officer did not position himself in front of the vehicle.
Nope.
The vehicle was stationary, which again, the officer is on the street already. Okay? The police officer was already on the street as they are approaching the vehicle. And there are two vehicles. There are two police officers on the right at the driver's side door, and there's one officer who is in front of the vehicle, but he is there incidentally. So he is not placing himself on there. So again, this is exactly where the nonsense comes in. Okay? You are then, and I almost feel like you're prejudicing the evidence by suggesting that the police officer placed himself. In essence, he ran up on the car and put himself in the front, which never happened.
Look, a moving car. I'm going to go stand in front of it.
That never happened at all. Never happened. And if you watch that video, and again, it's always done for you to now forget about what you've seen. Now, as an expert, so to speak, who comes on this network, the state police officer then saying what you saw, it isn't what happened, knowing damn well that you do not see the officer until the vehicle backs up. You don't even know the officer is there until he comes in view with the video. To suggest that you, me, anybody else, and the state trooper or the state police commissioner saw that, the same thing I saw, and then can suggest without, I don't know, out of whole cloth, that police officer stepped in front of a moving vehicle. And then to say that as a matter of fact, knowing that we all saw it, shows exactly how irresponsible these people are.
If you watch the video from the front where you see her vehicle make contact with his body just before he shoots, you can see the only movement he makes is to brace himself for impact. You can see him kind of like put his weight on his back foot, and he kind of leans back, leaving his other foot forward, and he's got his arm out like this, and the gun comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Once the vehicle makes contact with his person, that's when he fires. The reason it went through her front windshield is because his weapon was right there. When she is going forward, he sees it. I mean, there was just no time. Dude was already standing there. The only movement he made was to brace himself. As soon as she started backing up, you see he's already got his hand by his side. He's like, this doesn't feel right. Cops have a spidey sense. I don't know how to explain it. I've been married to a cop. I've been in.
Hold on. Can you say it without language? What were you gonna say?
6 months before, he was in that same situation, right? And he takes
Yeah, we play.
stitches.
Yeah, we play exactly.
So he's already at the ready to say, "I've already been here with this."
Right.
People don't stop.
So
Exactly.
He knows it's coming. I mean, he can see it. But cops have a spidey sense, right?
Right. He's been in this situation
Not
before.
only has he been in this situation, I'm telling you, cops have a spidey sense. He knew something was not right.
And I would assume as much. And tell me if I'm sort of over my skis on this. When the vehicle is moving backwards, your instinct is that this person is trying to flee.
Right.
Yes?
Right. She's going backwards.
Right.
Right?
Right. The movement in and of itself, right?
She actually has to put it in reverse. With the car, people come up to the car.
Yeah.
She puts it in reverse. But at that point, she has to look backwards, right? And then she sees she can't flee. There's other cars. Then she goes forward. So she's not even looking forward with the stuff.
Okay, so there's a very, very important distinction to be made here. And as I said it earlier in the opening monologue, again, we are talking about somebody who is right as rain, okay? Somebody who is a good-natured individual, poet, mother, good guy. The only police interaction she's ever had is a traffic stop, and I've seen priests and fathers and ministers who get traffic stop as right as rain. You know, the most innocent mom of three with a traffic ticket is par for the course. You may be driving a little too fast, or maybe the kids are doing something in the background and you do something recklessly and you get a ticket. It was probably some sort of desk appearance ticket, if you will, for some sort of dumb driving. So I'm thinking in my heart of hearts, a 37-year-old woman who's traveled a bit, lived in certain places, has
Had
probably
few
never, and again, no, no interaction with police other than a traffic stop. Now you're going to tell me that this woman, when police officers approach her, that instead of abiding by the law, because again, she may hate law enforcement, but she is a mother and she has lives to come back home to, that naturally, the worst that's going to happen to her, she's going to be detained. Maybe she gets arrested. Maybe she gets a fine, but that's it. Whatever gives her the impulse to back the vehicle up and then drive off, this good-natured, good-souled individual.
Ooh, I know.
Go.
Her wife.
Agreed.
Her wife egged her on.
As she says openly in the video.
And you and I talked about it this morning. You could pressure me to rob a bank. You could pressure me to kick puppies. You could pressure me to do all sorts of things. I'm still, one, an autonomous individual human being. I am still capable of making my own decisions. And two, I am still responsible for whatever decisions I make.
That's it.
So it seems to me like if she was pressured by her partner, maybe you shouldn't be with that partner.
And
It's
this
pressuring you to do bad things, but you are still responsible for the things that you do.
I will go so far as to say this. This is another important thing to note, right? So her wife, 40-year-old woman who's clearly not a fan of Trump, not a fan of the administration and the actions that are being taken by ICE, right? I would assume these individuals who are very, very versed in what's going on politically, if not in the media as it pertains to ICE. It's not like these people don't know that ICE agents have been under pressure or have been sort of like have been targeted to the tune of 1,000% increase in attacks against them. They know that they have been told by friends of theirs and other rabble-rousers that they need to stop ICE agents. They need to impede. As we played earlier, the lieutenant governor of Minnesota said, you need to put your lives or your bodies on the line. You are being encouraged by this by your public officials. And with all of that, you are dealing with individuals with guns. With guns. And if I can go so far, what is it that several black mothers have been telling their children forever?
Same thing I told my son.
What did you tell them?
If the cops pull you over, if you're walking down the streets with your friends, I don't care how much of a jerk that cop is being, you shut your freaking mouth. If the cop tells you to put your face in the pavement, you do it. If he arrests you, fine. Let them arrest you. Mommy will buy you a police station.
That's all.
I will own that police station.
Because the final goal, what's the most important goal in all of this?
The most important thing is that I don't bury my baby boy.
There you go.
That is the only thing I don't care what you are arrested for. I don't care if they caught you stealing or God knows what else.
Now,
don't fight.
This is the part that always contradicts itself, and it's also the conversation you're not allowed to have in public, okay? These individuals, which I am certain we will find out, these two women have probably spent a career telling everyone that police officers are murderers, right? Just like the protester I spoke to today for 45 minutes. These police officers are nothing more than Gestapo, and the Gestapo are murderers. They are killers, right? They have absolutely no regard for human life is what they tell us all the time. So please explain to me why a mother of three, right as rain, only had a traffic ticket, would put her life in jeopardy in front of a bunch of people who are killers.
You're not going to like my answer, but it's the absolute truth.
Okay.
It's another example of a white woman co-opting black culture.
But did she not believe what she's been telling everybody else?
Listen,
did she believe that because she is a white woman?
Yes, it only applies to black people. I am a white woman, therefore cops won't. Bullets bounce off me. I'm a white woman.
They won't fire.
I'm righteous. Look at me. I have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Who's
going to shoot me?
I have the complexion for the protection.
Exactly.
Is that?
I think that was the whole thing. That's, if you notice, all of these protesters are white women. Why are they white women? One, because white women take over every cause ever created in this country that had anything to do with anybody other than white women, right? If it has to do with anything, white women will take it over. And then they want to tell you how righteous they are for it. I'll protect you. Don't worry about it. I'm the white woman. They're going to listen to me because I'm the white woman. There's I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. But
I'm so frustrated by this because, and here's something I don't think anybody's even talking about yet, right? This woman This is her third marriage, right? I can't
Right.
speak a lot about third, fourth, fifth marriages because I am currently in my third marriage. I am my husband's fourth wife. We have 7 between us. That's not the issue. The issue here is that sometime between her last husbands, the last husband passed away. He was an Air Force veteran. He did 14 years. She lived and grew up in Colorado. She went to school at ODU. Anybody from Virginia knows ODU is Old Dominion University.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a black, isn't it?
No, ODU, no.
Oh, no, that's,
You're
okay. I'm thinking of the other place.
So
right.
she's in ODU in Norfolk.
Yeah.
She's down in Norfolk where she meets her husband, who's in the Air Force, and that's a huge military area down there. They lived together for about 6 years. Sometime in 2023, she files for a name change. There's no record of when her and her husband divorced, but between her name change and his death is a total of like 8 months.
Okay.
He dies. 8 months later, she's married to this woman. So she takes his 3 children and goes and moves in with a woman. Okay? There is something psychologically questionable in these decisions.
And yours, okay, before we go down a very, very dark road here, because it's a lot of speculation you're putting out there,
Understood,
Roseanne.
but a normal, well-functioning mother. Mind you now, PTSD, recovering alcoholic, mother, I've been through the ringer, right? I divorced my husband. I didn't go marry some woman and start protesting. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not normal patterns. This happens all the time. Parents divorce. They take their children. They don't go and become left-wing lunatics.
The reason why, because you're just speaking from the heart. And you're speaking from the investigation that you've been applying to this for since the beginning of it. And this is you. This is you. As I love about you is like when you get an issue, you dig deep. You don't look at the surface and leave that alone. In essence, you are intellectually honest about your position here because you've done the work. Right. A lot of people are just shooting from the hip.
No, I'm researching this woman.
And you invest in that research.
I am in this.
So the reason why I've got to come in and sort of like package
Clean
this
it
a
up.
certain. Maybe I don't want to use the term clean up because you're just speaking just honestly about your assessment here. But what you're diving into, which is really, really relevant to this, goes to the video the UK Daily Mail released yesterday. And that is of her wife, a 40-year-old woman, crying after her wife is shot and killed, saying, "This is my fault. I made her come here."
I mean,
I'm saying, listen to what that says based upon what you just surmised.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. There's studies that show that something like 78% of liberal women are like on mental health medication. This isn't just a random statistic that I'm reading like actual
data
information about this. 78% of liberal women are on some sort of mental health problems. More than 50% of liberal women complain about not being happy with life in general. Suicidal ideations. So you want to tell me that this woman who was a poet, who was married, who had children, gets a divorce, ends up in this lesbian relationship and is now dead because her wife convinced her to go and obstruct law enforcement activity?
And that's not before the fact they leave the
this-
country to live in Canada because of the presidency of Donald Trump.
Right. So, when you factor that in and look at the whole Rosie O'Donnell, every time that woman gets on screen,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? There is something to be investigated here about the mental capacity of these people. And then to add to that, knowing that these politicians are fully aware that these people are mentally unstable. It's like walking into a freaking crazy hospital and handing everybody knives and saying, "They're soft. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's good. We need you to help us police the other inmates." And then they start stabbing each other.
Yeah,
right?
it's a very, very good point. You're saying that in essence you have a bunch of unstable people who are completely
Being
radicalized.
incited. And
Right,
they're-
incited,
and
right.
Politicians are inciting them. For what purpose? To keep votes? To keep illegal people in our country to continue voting for them. You know why? Because they know that normal human American people are looking at this crap going, "Whiskey, Tango, Foxtrot." The normal people are going, "Yeah, we just want our country back."
Yeah.
This is not okay, and this liberal ideology is destroying the fabric of our nation. You are allowing them to sterilize our children and mutilate them. You're also encouraging them to groom our children into sexual deviance and just working socialism and communism into our fabric for what? A vote?
Yeah, that's
for
it.
a vote?
She's Yeah, oh yeah. Well, no, it won't stop the fraud investigation, without a doubt. Let me read some of the comments before we go to break. And by the way, thank you.
We're going off on a tangent. I'm
No.
so sorry.
It was actually really, really good. I want to compliment you because you tied it all together, and it was well done.
Nice little bow.
Just so you know, I did that, ladies and gentlemen. I did that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, God forbid I should think for myself
I'm
independently.
kidding. I'm totally
You
kidding.
made the apple pie as well as brought it, didn't you?
Yeah, I made the apple pie. That's right. Let me read some comments in here. People,
Kick you in the forehead.
People here. 25th says we all have free will. Craig in the car says, for clarification, white parents tell our kids the same thing while interacting with police.
Good.
Yeah, and a very, very good thing as well. And Tara says, yes, we do, Craig. Roseanne is right about this woman. Exactly what she thought when she was fighting the police. She's not even listed in her husband's obituary,
Nope.
Tara. He's
well,
not?
Well, because they were divorced prior to his death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God expects believers to obey the laws of the land.
Yes,
and
it does.
as civil authority is seen as part of his design. Democrats love to ensnare and enslave. They love their power over those they look down upon. Very good point.
And the most important people that they care about, the only people they care about are illegals. We've got the audio.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we played it a minute ago.
We don't count.
Carmela says two things. People who say they could have gone around her when she said go around, did they see how she pulled forward when someone attempted to? Is anyone talking about up the icy street they were all struggling to stand on? That's right. One officer that wasn't in the path was also seen falling down. You're 100%, Carmela, 100%. The officer that fired his weapon struggled to stay upright and did not fall under the wheel because they were standing on a sheet of ice. Rob says, Reese, the police accountability bill does say that officers are not justified in using lethal force. Wasn't my argument. He said there's no reason for them to stand in front of the car. He is absolutely wrong in that. I'm not talking about whether or not they're justified to use lethal force. If they are place themselves in the front of a car. If you watch the video, the officer that shoots comes from the pickup truck that's ahead of the van. The officer, well, what other place could he be? If he's ahead of the van, of her SUV, when he exits his vehicle to assist his compadres, he is going to end up in front of her car, which is perpendicular to the road.
Right. He didn't move in front of her moving vehicle. He was already, he left his vehicle. He was standing on the street in front of her vehicle, but he was obstructed. You can't really see him, but he was there. He was already there.
So it was like,
look at the other video of the other angle. You will see that he's already standing there.
Exactly. Yeah, oh,
Sorry.
crap, we're already there. Okay, we got to take a break. I didn't realize it. We got so invested in this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. Reese on the radio, Roseanne on the radio. When we return, it's NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And now, a WTIC news update.
43 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Sunny, high in the mid-40s this afternoon. A reminder to stay off the ice. Low in the upper 20s tonight, mid-40s again tomorrow with possible freezing fog in the morning. There are new protests in Minneapolis responding to yesterday's ice shooting of a woman in a car. Earlier, Border Patrol officers pushed protesters back from a gate, firing tear gas outside a federal building. One of the things upsetting protesters and Democratic Governor Tim Walz is evidence 37-year-old Renee Good was denied medical attention as she bled to death.
I saw an individual at the scene identify themselves as medical personnel, a physician, and asked to provide aid, and an ICE agent said, "I do not care." That lack of humanity was chilling to me.
White House claims the shooter was responding to a domestic terror attack. This is Vice President J.D. Vance.
What I'm certain of is that she accelerated in a way where she ran into the guy. I don't know what was in her heart and what was in her head, but I know that she violated the law, and I know that officer was acting in self-defense.
In his comments today, Governor Lamont calling for accountability.
She's a young mom. Her name is Good. She was in her neighborhood. And I'd like to think that politics aside, everybody in this country stands up to that type of horror and inhumanity.
He calls the shooting unnecessary and unjustifiable. The Senate advanced a resolution that would limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks on Venezuela. The vote 52-47, 5 Republicans joining Democrats. Online, the president lashed out at them, saying the 5 Republicans should never be elected again, calling their vote stupidity. Trump tells the New York Times U.S. oversight over Venezuela could last for years. A Waterbury man under arrest in a fatal hit-and-run crash. Police say it was December 28th at about 9:15 p.m. when police found a pedestrian struck and down on Reedville Drive. 43-year-old Sabrina Starkey died at the hospital. The driver left the scene. Investigation led police to 23-year-old Dion Shanton. He was arrested at a probation appointment yesterday. He faces charges including evading responsibility resulting in death. He's held on a $100,000 bond. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 285, S&P climbing 2 points, the NASDAQ is down 113. And we check the WTIC forecast.
Partly cloudy the rest of today and warm by January standards, high 47 degrees, and partly cloudy tonight. Areas of fog developing overnight. Freezing fog can lead to a few isolated slick spots, low 26. Could be some fog and freezing fog early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy, breezy in the afternoon, bit of rain and drizzle at a high of 45. Windy tomorrow night with occasional rain, especially early, low 37. Saturday cloudy, more rain in the afternoon at high 42. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
43 degrees. Men's college basketball, CCSU hosting Stonehill. NHL Bruins at home against Calgary and the Rangers at home against Buffalo. College football playoff semis, Miami against Ole Miss. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Pressure doesn't crush champions, it creates them. On the court, UConn's AZ Fudd, Caroline Ducharme, Morgan Shelley, and Sarah Williams rise to the moment with skill, preparation, and teamwork. At BPS Lawyers, we meet pressure the same way, with confidence, discipline, and results.
Champions win together, on the court and in the courtroom.
One full-service firm, all your legal needs, always. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Visit bpslawyers.com.
Why choose Affordable Baths? Because they're the only ones that give you the price up front. The other guys don't. The other guys install roofs, siding, windows, and doors. Affordable Baths installs bathrooms, just bathrooms, and they use Kohler fixtures. The other guys don't. Affordable Baths has a showroom that you can see, feel, and touch what you're buying. With the other guys, you'll never see your salesperson after you sign the deal. At Affordable Baths, they're with you every step of the way. So the question is not why would you buy from Affordable Baths, it's when will you work with Affordable Baths? Bass. Keep it affordable at affordablebass.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Apple debuted a new AI model called Sharp that could turn a simple two-dimensional image into a three-dimensional scene. Apple says that's accomplished in less than a second, with a 3D image produced by Sharp rendered in real time, yielding high-resolution photorealistic images for nearby views. Although users can't move far away from the vantage point of the photo, as unviewed parts of the scene aren't synthesized. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
All right, we're back in the house. Roseanne on the radio is here, and Adam 12 is in the background. Get off camera, man. You're going to reveal your identity. Anyway, I want to play this because this was a very, very important thing to note. During the last news break, Dave Mager was playing a clip from Bryan and Company. And this is important to note because I said this in the opening monologue. With all of these people going down to Hartford to the ICE facility, at the ICE facility there, I also mentioned Governor Lamont after George Floyd going after the police department here in Connecticut by, in essence, kind of painting with a broad brush. All police saying, we've got to change things here in Connecticut. Connecticut had nothing to do with Derek Chauvin's actions on that day or with George Floyd. George Floyd is not a nutmegger. Never was, never will be. But here it was, people taking it out on ICE agents everywhere. This wouldn't be allowed with any other group in the world. Any other. But this is the point that I was making, right? This is the big lie that people tell. Again, I'm going to play Dave Mager talking about Bryan and Company and the commissioner of the state police. This is astonishing that this ever happened. Hear me out.
And that means that Democrats have to stop rallying the mob against legitimate law enforcement operations.
Video showed.
Now, that, of course, was J.D. Vance. Going on, here's Dave Mager again.
The ICE agent positioning himself in front
front of goods SUV. Connecticut State Police Commissioner Ronell Higgins says state law regarding police officers' use of deadly force is clear. It is prohibited.
Okay, what state? What state? Minnesota? No. He's talking about Connecticut.
For police officers in the state of Connecticut to place themselves intentionally in front of a moving vehicle.
What's the relevance there, Commissioner? With all due respect, what's the relevance? The event did not happen in Bridgeport. Okay? It didn't happen in Greenwich, folks. It didn't happen in Hamden. This happened in Minnesota. What's the relevance? So what, Commissioner, or what Connecticut state law is? We don't have a case here. What are you talking about? With all, be an expert on the, can you tell me what the law is for the ICE agent in Minnesota? What are you on this network for, telling me about what the case law is in Connecticut? What is that for? To tell what? In the event that it may happen here? So that everybody else, thank you. The rule is on the books. But your expertise in this is pointless in the grand scheme of things. Right? Am I missing something here? Roseanne, am I missing something?
I would say that if you are making lemonade, you are not going to the store and buying papayas.
Okay.
Okay. Let me... He brought papayas when we're making lemonade.
Yeah.
The lemonade is this chick got shot and died.
Yes.
Okay? That's the lemonade. What do I need papayas for? Connecticut's the papaya. I don't care about your stupid papaya. I want lemons, sugar, and water.
Yes, give me, right, if we're talking about what took place in Minneapolis, let's talk about that and talk about the rules of engagement as it were,
Perfect,
as they
I got
pertain.
those right here.
Go ahead, let's talk about the rules of engagement in Minnesota.
Minnesota Statute 609.066. Y'all look that up. Minnesota Statute explicitly allows peace officers to use deadly force when an objectively reasonable officer would believe, based on the totality of circumstances with hindsight, that it is necessary to protect the officer or others from great bodily harm. Now, that's police officers in the state of Minneapolis, or in the city of Minneapolis. However, DHS is a federal agency, and federal law enforcement's deadly force is justified only for imminent threats or death, or justified, where'd it go? Justified only for imminent threats of death or serious injury, and not merely to stop a fleeing vehicle or person unless a vehicle is actively threatening lives.
Okay.
All of those were met.
I want to make another thing abundantly clear as we talk about this, okay? Mm-hmm. Because one of the other points that I made in all of this was, I said that Nicole Good was pretty much a by-the-book American citizen who had nothing more than a traffic stop, had no other altercations with police, and according to her own mother, was a good-natured individual, a poet, a compassionate individual who, for some odd reason out of nowhere, drives her vehicle to evade police officers, an action she had never committed in her life, obviously because she got a traffic stop, which I would like to know the details of. Was she pulled over by police officers who put the red and blues up? Did they go, woo, woo, woo? And did she
try to run them over?
Yeah, did she try to run them over or evade? Did she try to evade or did she pull over? So then we would say the character of said individual is clearly, in this case, it is, let's just say, contradictory at best. Now let's go to the police officer, the ICE agent in question. Just 6 months ago, he was trying to stop someone who they were trying to arrest that Minneapolis would not keep so that they could detain him, right? They wouldn't detain him so he could pick him up, right? A child sex predator. And what did he do in order to get the man out of the car? Did he pull out his weapon? No, he did not. Why? Because he was at the side of the vehicle trying to get the man out. And what did the man do? He actually accelerated and he drove off. So then we have dragging the officer 300 feet. Now we have the same officer who then is met with somebody who is coming at him, charging him with a vehicle in his eyes, a vehicle coming at him that he fired the weapon. Which one of these people are inconsistent?
I mean, I'm thinking the chick that was once normal and stable and is now a radical. She seems like the least consistent of the two.
That's all I'm saying here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to suggest here. I want to get to a phone call since we can, because a lot of people want to call in. Let's go to Kara. Am I saying your name right, Kara? Oh, sorry. Kara, is that you?
Carol.
Carol. Oh, I'm sorry, Carol. How are you?
Good. No worries. I just wanted to make a point because when I got on Facebook this morning, of course, I saw friends that are posting about what happened, and they showed a picture of the good woman, and I just had a feeling in my heart that this was really bothering me, because I don't remember these people posting about Blake and Riley or Warren or the numerous other Jocelyn
Nungren, yep.
Sarah Root, Brendan Mendoza. It goes on and on to 2016. I didn't see them posting pictures about their upset of these people that were murdered by illegal.
Exactly.
Because they were not useful to their cause. And Nicole Good is a perfect pawn for everything that they believe. She can be a pillar. It's the same thing with George Floyd. It is useful. It is useful to get, and again, it's useful fodder or a useful idiot in this particular case for them to advance their political means. That's it.
She's this movement's Rosa Parks.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
They're using her and her death, even though, again, this is, as we know now, because we've seen the tape, we've heard it, we watched it, her own wife told her she made her come. That was an interesting, Carol, an interesting choice of words.
An excited utterance. It
Yeah, exactly. An excited utterance that says, I made her come, this is my fault. Because if I'm hearing that, I'm saying to myself, was there some resistance in Nicole wanting to participate that made her say that?
I think Becca needs to be charged. Becca's the name of the wife. Becca Good.
So,
I just think about the families of the people that were murdered, like Blake and Riley.
Yeah.
Hearing all of this all day long.
Yeah.
And all last night.
And feeling feeling completely abandoned of all of these people, of any instance of grace given to those people, or even condolences to those people. They had no interest in it.
There was no mention on some stations about their death.
Yeah.
You know, it's awful.
Yeah, it was a blackout. You're absolutely right, Carol. There's a complete blackout. But thank you, Carol. I hear the emotion in your voice, but thank you for holding on for me, okay?
Yeah, but I wanted to ask Roseanne,
Yes.
when she goes to the protest today, to ask them, well, where were they when Blake and Riley was murdered?
To be honest, Carol, I don't want her to engage in them and create an issue. I just wanted to do recon. Trust me, I had to tell my wife 1,000 times, do not engage.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol. By the way, if I go to these protests, I will put myself on the line by asking those questions. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. You have a good one. Let's go to Jerry in Columbia. How are you, Jerry?
Jerry, Reese, I am fantastic, and I am in love with your show, and I am totally in love with Roseanne. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot is one veteran to another, and there's no way in hell she's not going to be able to engage.
Charlie
No
Mike,
way
baby.
in hell.
Charlie Mike, baby.
Well, listen.
So as a former MP and Army Ranger and police officer, it makes me so sick that the Democrats are saying that this officer did something wrong. He was in the wrong spot, and Roseanne can tell you, because she qualified as a Army veteran, that when you were placed in a situation and something happens in a split second, you have a millisecond to think about what you're going to do. And number one, save your life. Number two, it's a miracle that he got off 3 shots.
Yeah.
And just,
that is precision.
horrible.
I will tell you that.
Didn't hit anybody else.
Yes, that was
exactly.
That was one of the things that I remember, that in the Amadou Diallo case, I remember saying to myself, how does an officer, or even though it was 3, how did 3 officers get off like 51 shots? And the guy explained it to me
skill.
with
It's muscle memory.
there is a muscle memory and a skill to that.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, and
Roseanne can tell you, because she's gone through, I'm sure, combat ranges as a veteran.
Yes, and I was
I've gone through.
I was the
tons
senior
of
medic
them.
for the 947th and the 289th MP companies at Arlington National Cemetery, Fort Myer. So I did do a lot of the training. Like, you have to learn how to take your 9 and.
Come to the mic, honey, because nobody can hear.
Sorry, you have to learn how to bring your weapon up from your like low ready and pop off.
Yep.
Like, you're not just walking around like this. Like, you have to keep your weapon
you're
not engaged.
You are not.
Yeah.
No.
Well, okay.
So
You know what?
Going through combat ranges, and you had Roseanne can tell you. You walk into a room, and there's a silhouette in front of you 5 feet
shoot
away,
it.
and then another target, and I can tell you how many guys out of 25 guys. At least 2 of them miss the silhouette that's 5 feet in front of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because they're freaked out. They're
it's
nervous.
startling.
They're,
Yeah.
And so it's just. But the thing that I feel bad about right now is this poor guy is going to get dragged through the mud so much, and your wife can tell you because he has number one a close proximity incident where he got injured.
Yeah.
So now they're going to use that as a type of PSD against the poor son of a bitch.
Well,
Sorry.
language, okay. All right. We'll edit it out. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you for calling. I will say this before we take another pause real quick. That's a very, very important thing to note is about what the media is doing in this. None of them were concerned about this woman's name. It took sleuths. It took internet sleuths to find out who Nicole was. The only thing the media wanted to know was who the officer's name was because they were going to use him exactly as Jerry said. They were
Which
going
is
to make.
why they're not reporting about the guy that dragged him the first time, who was a convicted child rapist.
Yeah, indeed. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Stand by. More news, more views, and I'll get to your phone calls when I can. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
That's my big brother, Joe. He's using the Xbox right now. Joe's my mentor in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. He's been teaching me stuff about cars and how I can do a better job of managing my time. I've been showing him games on Xbox like Fortnite. We're supposed to leave for the Yukon game soon. Come on, Joe. Let's get going. Looks like I need to show him a few things about time management.
I can't believe I got wiped out again.
And how to stay alive in Fortnite. Joe has a lot to learn.
It's National Mentoring Month. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Connecticut has been providing children in need with great adult mentors for the past 56 years. Caring, inspirational adults who help them follow their dreams, develop their innate talent, and reach their highest potential. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Connecticut offers these life-changing mentoring services to children in each of Connecticut's 169 municipalities. Visit ctbigs.org to find out more.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
My home is my happy place, but between pets and kids, my happy place has scuffs and dings. CertaPro Painters came in and saved the day. They can level up your curb appeal on the outside of your home and get those hard-to-reach places on the inside, too. My team also made sure my cats didn't get out, and they left my place spotless. Each CertaPro Painters business, independently owned and operated. Protect your home investment with quality painting from CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. We are taking your phone calls on this. And, of course, if you wish to, please go to the chat room. You could go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. There you can find YouTube or on X so you can comment like everybody else is doing. So we will get you, thank you, Roland, we will get you at least your comments on the show. I know everybody is chiming in about this as well. One thing I will say this before I go to Frank. This is important to note because I know there are some people who are out there saying, it's like, Reese, you're kind of the breaker of narratives, right? Like people come up here and they start this story where the narrative is this, the narrative is this, and everybody's talking about that. Don't get me wrong. I am covering this story because it is a national news story and everybody is focusing on it. But for this reason and this reason alone, to clearly show you what the narrative is, and it is all around you, that it is everything to do with emotion and nothing to do with facts at all. Because the emotion is important to a lot of the people who are talking about this. They feel in some way that, and these are reporters here, there are reporters who believe that in showing or expressing these emotions in their news, that in some way this feels as if they are doing something noble and good, instead of separating themselves from the story and just reporting on it. That's all it is. Again, I don't care when I'm covering a news story. There's no emotion here. I just look at the logic. And when I look at it and it doesn't make sense, that's what I'm trying to break down here. Let me get to Frank, because I promised him I'd get to him real quick. What's going on, Frankie?
Well, I have to agree with Roseanne. I've been saying this for decades on this radio station. It's time for me to call. I couldn't wait to call. The number one group of people in this country on antidepressants that are mentally ill are white women under 40. I said this for... I said this for 20 years. They're brainwashed by these liberal professors. Stay away from these women. Roseanne, you have 2 sons. I'm telling you as a friend, make sure they never marry a white woman.
That has been my goal since day one, trust me.
It'll be the most tragic mistake they ever make in their life. Because if you can't, I said it the other day, Sicily, Greece, Brazil, and Spain, if you could get a plane ticket. But if you can't, there's only one woman.
Wait. How about a conservative white woman? Can they do that?
No.
No.
They go to college, they get brainwashed. In this country called America, if you're a young man right now, there's only one woman you should be looking for. Where is the queen? Where is that young, beautiful black woman?
Well, they've changed a lot.
Well, I don't...
wait, hold it. She's right. As long as they don't go to college. That's the bottom line. Right.
Or have a deep
So,
aspiration to be
you can
about
get yourself a black woman, but make sure she ain't got no schooling.
No schooling, and she's poor. But if you, Roseanne, mark my words, after I'm gone, if your 2 boys marry a white woman, it will be a disaster for you and your family.
Goodbye.
Mark
Frank, I got to take a break. Thank you, man. I love you, brother. I love him. Let's get our first check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hello, sir.
Roseanne, as a white woman, do you take offense to that at all?
Soy pura chicana. Mi familia es de Aguascalientes y Durango en México.
All right.
Goodbye.
I hope your sons find love with whoever they want. Yeah, no matter what race or color. I just hope they find love. Hey, guys, if you're heading on the westbound side of 84, we have a problem in Southington right now. This traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. Westbound 84, an accident now just west of exit 32 Queen Street. Looks like at least the left lane, maybe the center lane, too, blocked out there. So you're going to see delays now approaching exit through 32 Queen Street. Behind that, if you are on the eastbound side of I-84, you're going to see slow traffic now for approaching 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 91, you've got delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291, 384, okay. 2 westbound is slowing, approaching the Route 2 interchange. 9 northbound delays approaching Harbor Park in Middletown. If you are traveling in the westbound side of 84, delays from exit 22 up to the Mixmaster. Southbound Parkway slowing 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants in just one visit. Open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. Partly cloudy the rest of today and warm by January standards. High 47 degrees and partly cloudy tonight. Areas of fog developing overnight. Freezing fog can lead to a few isolated slick spots. Low 26. Could be some fog and freezing fog early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy. Freezing in the afternoon. Bit of rain and drizzle at a high of 45. Windy tomorrow night with occasional rain, especially early. Low 37. Saturday cloudy. More rain in the afternoon at high 42. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
43 degrees at 4. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. There's another dispute related to yesterday's ICE shooting of a 37-year-old Minnesota woman in a car. The state of Minnesota says federal officials are blocking the state from investigating.
Minnesota must be part of this investigation.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says the federal government is now denying the state's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension from being part of the probe.
There's a BCA Force Investigations Unit that was created by the legislature, by the people of Minnesota, to provide an independent, consistent, and trusted mechanism for investigating the use of force incidents involving law enforcement officers.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said state authorities don't have jurisdiction.
CBS's Cammie McCormick reporting. The White House has said this was a domestic terror attack. The president has made several claims about the victim, Renee Good, that are not supported by the video, including the claim that she ran over the ICE agent just before he shot her. Vice President J.D. Vance has more claims about Good today.
Basically that she was there to engage in obstruction of a legitimate law enforcement operation. How did she get there? How did she learn about this? There's an entire network, and frankly, some of the media are participating in it, that is trying to incite violence against our law enforcement officers.
Star Tribune identifying the agent as Jonathan Ross, who's described by federal officials as experienced. State Police Commissioner Ronnell Higgins joined WTIC's Brian and Company with his observations. He says when multiple agencies are at the same scene, they need to be in constant communication.
When another agency is coming into the jurisdiction of another, that there isn't a blue on blue, that there isn't a situation where two departments who are lawfully there doing their job don't necessarily put each other in harm's way and someone gets hurt.
Governor Lamont says he's demanding accountability, calling the shooting, quote, completely unnecessary and unjustifiable. Danbury police say a person was fatally struck by a stray bullet from a neighboring home last night. WTIC's John Silva reports.
They say the incident occurred just after 8:30. A firearm was discharged inside a townhouse and traveled through the wall, hitting a person in a neighboring unit. The victim was rushed to an area hospital but later died. The person believed to be the shooter took off before police arrived. They are currently looking for that suspect. Officers are calling it an isolated incident, and there is no threat to the public. John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
A state trooper has been fired after an investigation into his relationship with a 17-year-old female student. Timothy Heroyan was a school resource officer at Vinyl Tech in Middletown. The probe turned up 4,000 text messages between the trooper and the girl, many of which were sexual in nature. State police say Heroyan was fired as of December 30th, saying the role of a school resource officer is to protect and support students while building trust. The Senate advanced a resolution that would limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks on Venezuela. The vote 52-47. Online, President Trump lashed out at the 5 Republicans who joined Democrats in the vote, saying they should never be elected again. This is Rhode Island Democrat Jack Reed.
The Constitution vests the power to authorize war in Congress, not the president. President Trump has claimed this was just a law enforcement mission, and that's absurd. No matter how he describes it, The president waged war on a foreign nation without authorization, without notification to Congress, and without any explanation to the American people about what this operation will cost or what success will look like.
There will be a vote next week on final Senate passage. The resolution ultimately likely to fail because even if the House approves, President Trump would have to sign it. Trump tells the New York Times U.S. oversight over Venezuela could last for years. On Wall Street, the Dow closing up 270, S&P was up marginally, just about a point, and the NASDAQ was down 104. In sports, the Miami Dolphins fire coach Mike McDaniel. College football playoff semis tonight in the Fiesta Bowl. It's Miami against Ole Miss. Men's college basketball, CCSU hosting Stonehill in New Britain, and the NHL, the Bruins hosting Calgary, and the Rangers at home against the Buffalo Sabres. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish, low energy, if your sleep is off, or if you're hitting the gym but not seeing real progress, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments, combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or visit northeastmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, contest is coming back soon, but don't forget myself, Roseanne, we are going to be at Between Rounds in Vernon on Hartford Turnpike on the 16th. You and I will be there. It's a Friday night.
A Friday day.
Friday day, but it goes into the evening. And we'll be there all day. Somebody sent me a message and said, Reese, do you have security there? And I'm like, it's a radio show, you know. We're not
security where?
At Between Rounds.
At Between Rounds?
Yeah, there'll be security there. Trust me.
They got mugs. I'm just saying. They got coffee mugs. I'm just saying.
There'll be security there. But you don't have to worry about anything. It'll be fine. People are going to come in and have a good time. Even the people who don't like the show love the show, if you get my meaning, right? It's like they don't like my ideology or my point of view, but they love the show and they listen all the time. And so we even invite them to come on down. You know, I know somebody who really, really wants to come by. Tim in Hamden. He's been reaching out to me. He's following me on X and on Instagram, and he's listening.
Back, Tim.
He's listening right now. We know Timmy is in the house.
Tiny Tim.
It's not just a euphemism. But God bless the guy. I appreciate. Like I said, I begin the show shouting out nutmeggers, conversationalists, and of course the haters, because they are in essence the most important.
Haters are your biggest fans.
They are.
I saw a meme on Facebook that said, "Your haters are watching you so hard that they're accidentally becoming you." Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they are. They even probably take on my mannerisms.
I did it.
That's funny. All right, you're about to get up out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to hear from you at about 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And you let us know what's going on down there.
Now be good and I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay, be good and be safe. She's going out there with a couple of guys who are going to be protecting her. Let's get to Mark Christopher. Speaking of, you need to pay attention to Mark because he's giving you your BPS lawyer's traffic report right now.
Roseanne, you didn't say Tiny Tim, did you?
Yes, he did.
Oh my God!
And I should have known better than to bring it up.
I thought you were going to be nice to him.
Reese is the nice one.
Wow! I almost fell off my chair when I heard that.
That's true. It is true. I am the nice one.
All right. I'm learning something new every day here, folks. Hey, if you're heading into Southington right now on the westbound side of 84, we got an accident just west of exit 32 Queen Street. The left and center lanes are out there, so stay to the right with that. And look for delays back to exit 33 in Plainville, the 72 exit behind that. If you're traveling eastbound 84 in Hartford, slow traffic 46 into the Bulkley. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge at 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound Hartford delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you are traveling to westbound, delays from exit 4 up to the 84 West merge. 9 northbound slows Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling into Waterbury, just a slight slowdown 84 westbound at the Mixmaster. Southbound Parkway delays 50 into the West Rock. South 95 New Haven slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly sunny the remainder of this afternoon, a high in the mid-40s, and partly cloudy tonight. A low of 26. The areas of fog and even freezing fog overnight first thing tomorrow morning, and that can lead to a few slippery spots at daybreak. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy. It'll become breezy in the afternoon with some late-day rain and drizzle. High 45. Rain tomorrow night, at least before midnight. Windy, a low of 37. The cloudy on Saturday. More rain coming Saturday afternoon and evening. High 42, and back to dry weather for Sunday. Right now, it is 43 in Wallingford. It's 45 degrees in Middletown and 44 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
For quality vinyl siding, the Peter L. Brown Company is your best choice. It's winter, and we need to keep our crews busy, so ask us about our winter specials. Please visit peterlbrown.com for roofing, siding, windows, and doors.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty, that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
When winter weather hits, you can depend on WTIC and News Talk 1080 to get you through every storm. With weather, Bob Cox and the WTIC Weather Center working around the clock to give you the latest, most accurate winter weather forecast. With traffic, Mark Christopher and the WTIC traffic team will get you around the tie-ups. With news, the WTIC news team will have all the important news updates related to every storm. So when winter weather hits, and it will because it's winter and it's Connecticut, trust WTIC News Talk 1080 for the winter information you need without the hype.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
It's interesting to watch all of these sort of remarks that come from people, and the enthusiasm of which the reporters want them, I guess, for content, which I get. But it's unfortunate that when you see this stuff happening, I've got to be here doing the show, but I wish that these things were happening before I get here so that I could be there and actually ask those questions. I try as much as I can to get out there. I'm going to find a way to do both. I'm totally going to find a way to do both, where we can get people at these events to ask the important questions. Because we can't rely on the news media to push back. They just, they get the soundbite and they move on. They send cameramen and not reporters, and there's no back and forth. And I know newsrooms are dying and they can't afford it and all that other stuff, whatever. But it's enough. Enough is enough. That's the way I look at it. Let me go to Everett. Hey, I haven't heard from him in a while. How are you, sir?
Good. It's been a minute or two.
Yes, sir.
My question is actually more fundamental. Is once I put on a policeman's uniform or DHS or ICE or any other uniform, does that automatically mean I have zero rights? Because it seems to me that these people are doing their jobs and they're being attacked, and they're going out of their way to accommodate these people, but they get right into their personal space. I mean, they get within inches of these people. They are there to start the problem.
Yeah. And you know what it reminds me of, Everett? There was this one video that should have gone viral, but it didn't. I mean, when I say it should have, I mean, it got thousands of views. But even I didn't think at the time it was relevant enough to keep sort of stored away to come back. But it was after the shooting of Michael Brown, and one of the protests, it was one of the protests at night outside of the police department where Darren Wilson worked. And the protesters were on one side of the street and the police officers were in front of the police station. And news reporters were going down the line to talk to, the protesters or just regular neighbors who are outside shouting down the police. They kept them separated, nothing, there was no tear gas, no fighting. But one reporter, I don't know who he was, but was asking, he had to be a local reporter, was asking a black woman there, and he was reasonably asking her, why do you call these people, pigs and names and stuff like that? Do you not see them as human? Some of these people are fathers and brothers and sons. Do you not see them as human? And she said the line that blew me away, and I hope I can find it, but she says, not when they put on that uniform. They are no longer human to me. And that is the sentiment. It may not be with all of them, but the woman I spoke to today is one of the protesters who are going to be down there today. When I asked her why she would refer to these men and women as pigs, she made no, concession that they are human. She goes, that's what they are. They are ice pigs. And I went, this is what gives them license to behave in the way that they do to these people, because they don't see them as human.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got Chris Murphy and Blumenthal and our governor who are actually attacking the people that are serving us.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Can you imagine it? It would be like, imagine if the police were the term pig were like the equivalent of using the N-word. And Chris Murphy, who gets a police detail, is at a press conference with police behind him, calling them pigs, and then getting in the motorcade with them and leaning over to an officer and says, I'm not talking about you, right?
Yeah, well, polite, intelligent gentleman.
Yes. That's actually a pretty good. I like that. That's actually pretty good. Yes, polite, intelligent gentleman. Everett, thank you, man. It's been a while, but I'm glad you're back, buddy.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, man. Let's go to Rich in Windsor Locks. Oh, I'm sorry. There he is. Hey, Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir. What's up?
Great. Good to talk to you this new year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, just what you're saying. I can't believe the news where Minnesota is complaining, we want to investigate, but yet they did not want to enforce or comply with or cooperate with ICE.
Right.
So you can't have it both ways. Either you're on the team or you're off the team.
Indeed. Now it's there's this sort of concerted effort by all law enforcement involved, everybody, to run an investigation together, like we're all in it together. We want to get to the bottom of it and make sure that everybody's okay. And if I might add, here's another thing that I found, and I was talking about this earlier, which was so wild.
Yep.
You have a town or a state like Minnesota making it very clear that our local police is not going to work with federal agents, particularly ICE, as it pertains to getting illegals off the street. But the moment the police arrive at a shooting that involves the death of a woman and the police officers go there because they must respond to a shooting in their neighborhood, what do the rabble-rousers do? They attack police, who they know have been instructed not to assist ICE in any way. They go there to just secure the area so that a full investigation can be done, knowing that they are nowhere cahoots with the federal government, but yet they are still met with the same animus that they did that ICE was receiving because they are law enforcement.
Exactly. And you know, real professionals, which is most law enforcement officers are, state, local, county, you know, feds, they work together to take these child predators off the street. You know, I've seen federal, state, county, and municipal agents all working together to complete the task.
Right. And again, you couldn't find two officers on either side of this, be it ICE agents versus local, you know, flatfoot in the police department, who didn't have the same effort in trying to get those types of people and those types of criminals off the street. They both have the same fervor in getting those guys off the street for public safety reasons. Not one of them would see that case a different way.
And we all swear to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and, of course, your individual state.
Yep, exactly right. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate you, sir. You have a wonderful day, sir.
Yep. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Charlie is in Avon. Charlie had to call back several times. I apologize for that, Charlie. Thank you. You're on. What's going on?
Busy with the kids driving around and everything. You know, I just want to tell you, like, people talking about, you know, the cop, he didn't have to choose to shoot her. He didn't have to choose to shoot her. You know, they're right. He didn't have that choice, actually. That choice was made for him.
Correct.
So we all have a choice to make when we get up in the morning. What are we going to do today? We're going to do good, we're going to do bad, or, you know, maybe indifferent. The cop, I'm sure he didn't wake up that morning and say, you know what I want to do today? I want to go out and shoot some mother.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't on his agenda. And I'm sure he probably feels terrible for it, too. But
why wouldn't he?
That was made that no one's talking about was her choice.
Right.
She's sitting there in her car with 3 cops, guns drawn, saying, do not move. You have a choice to make in that moment. You sit there, you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to put this thing in park. But she made the other choice, the choice that ultimately ended her life. So that was her decision. And that decision, the ICE officers, they just happened to not disagree with.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me ask you this, a good question in all of this, Charlie. We're looking at a woman who, as I described from everything we've been able to learn about her, the only time we find her in any police interaction is a traffic ticket. This is a mother, a woman who is described by her own mother as a kind, good-hearted, good-natured poet and compassionate individual. The only thing that I cannot reason with, and again, I'm taking it what everybody else who is an expert on her is saying about her. Tell me on the outside looking in, again, I know nothing about her, that I can possibly reconcile a person who sees law enforcement approach her and her first instinct is to leave her wife behind and speed off.
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but it baffles you. How does it not baffle you, though, Charlie?
It does.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing is it's just crazy to me. I mean, I have no idea what's going through that person's head, but I mean, at that point, the ICE officers, they're not making a choice. They're reacting to doing their job.
Exactly. They have no idea who this woman is. And everybody else, again, is coming from the idea of, like, her past, like, which, by the way, they just found out, right? They are looking at a woman who is shot, and based on the information they got, they're like, she was a mother. She had children. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, a murderer is never a murderer until he commits that first murder.
Pretty much. Exactly. That's exactly the way to look at it. Good point. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You got it. Again, like I said, my reasoning right now is just kicking in. My instincts are kicking in. And all I ask, as I do on this show all the time, It's like all of these people who are talking, all the talking heads, all the pundits. Let's bring in an expert. It's like an expert of what? An expert of Connecticut law? For what? I'm going to talk to a police officer who was not in the middle of that incident. Now bring me an officer who did have to. By the way, if there's one out there who is willing to speak anonymously, who had to fire their weapon on a vehicle that was coming towards them, I'd be happy to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. You tell me what it was like when you were right in that position where you had to save your life or the life of someone else on your team or your partner or other, bystanders, innocents. Call me up and tell me what it was like. Tell everybody what it was like, because they've never had to deal with it. They could damn well tell you how you're supposed to react. When I want an expert on, I don't want an expert saying from 1,000 yards, telling everybody else in a state that they do not govern or do not work in, telling me what the procedures in Connecticut are. As if to suggest that by telling me that you are letting me know what are the procedures inside the federal government as they patrol this country, getting rapists and killers off the street. It's not an expert, this guy. In what capacity is this guy an expert on this story? What's going on, John? How are you?
Hey, how are you doing? I agree with you in a sense, but I think that the woman didn't do as the ICE officer said to get out of her car, back up, and take off. I think that the ICE officer mightn't have had the proper training, and he rushed to judgment. She panicked, and it was a shame that a human life ended. That's the way I look at it. I don't look at it the way
Have you seen the overhead view yet?
Yes, I have. I've looked at the video 4 times.
No. I'm not. No. I didn't say you didn't see the video. Have you seen the overhead view yet? The overhead view of the vehicle and the police officer?
Yes, I have.
Where is the police officer positioned?
He was positioned in front of her car, and she backed out. Looked like she was going to make an exit, but she panicked. And you don't argue with somebody that has a gun. You do as they say. That's what I've been told by Black African American parents. They tell their kids, if you're pulled over for a traffic stop, you do as the officer says, because he's got the gun. You don't argue with him. You treat him with respect. That's why we have a court system. If you disagree with them, you could always take them to court and try to win your case. But this lady panicked. And I think that the officer that shot her, he's not a true police officer. They undergo a lot of training in those situations. Maybe this tragic scene didn't have to happen.
Well, he was involved in an incident where he was dragged 300 feet some 6-7 months ago in June.
Yeah, well, that's a different case. This is the life of a person. I don't care about past cases.
But wait, he's a 10-year veteran. You said he wasn't trained?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he was trained in. Listen.
But wait, you began by. I'm going to have to go to a break. But you began by saying that he probably wasn't trained, but he's a 10-year veteran.
No, I said he probably wasn't trained in the right situation.
Oh.
High density like that. They're changing law enforcement. They're trying to get a more psychological analysis. I remember a cop shot many years ago. A cop shot an autistic guy that was in the street, and it was proven that.
I know that case as well, but I think that those two situations are separate. We cannot paint both cops with the same brush.
Right.
But I get what you're saying. But I got to go to a break. Yeah. Thank you, man. Let's get a check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
Reese, thank you very much. If you're heading westbound 84 in Southington, we have a crash just west of exit 32 Queen Street. Looks like the left and center lanes are out there. The laser back approaching exit 33 and the 72 interchange behind that. So look for those delays there. If you're 84 eastbound, you got slow traffic approaching 46 Sisson Avenue down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 slows East Hartford approaching the Bulklear Bridge out to exit 46 Sisson Avenue. Southbound 91 delays 33 down at 32 A and B. It's a little tight again, 23 in Rocky Hill down to 22 in the Route 9 interchange. More slow traffic down between 20 and 19 as you move Middletown into Meriden. If you're heading into Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. Quiet Waterbury. 95 southbound delays in New Haven, 46 down to 43 in West Haven, and southbound Parkway delays getting by exit 50 in Hamden. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy the remainder of today with temperatures well above historical average for this part of January. High 47. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 26. Be areas of freezing fog overnight and early tomorrow morning. Watch for isolated slippery spots. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy. Becoming breezy in the afternoons. Late day rain and drizzle. High 45. Cloudy and somewhat windy tomorrow night with a little rain. Mostly before midnight. Low 37. Cloudy Saturday with another round of rain in the afternoon and at night. Saturday side 42. Rain should be over on Sunday, but stay mostly cloudy. Sunday side 44. Then for Sunday night, partly cloudy. A little colder. Low 27. And windy colder weather on Monday. A mix of sun and clouds. High 37. Dropping back into the 20s. Monday night. Not as cold on Tuesday, partly sunny, high 46. Then turning out mostly cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 45. Could be some rain in the area late Wednesday or Wednesday night. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
40 degrees at 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. There's a dispute related to yesterday's ICE shooting of a 37-year-old Minnesota woman in a car. Democratic Governor Tim Walz says federal officials are blocking the state from investigating as it seeks accountability for the shooter.
The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, the BCA, spent the day yesterday attempting to get that accountability. We have learned that the Trump administration has now denied the state that ability to participate in the investigation.
The chief prosecutor for Hennepin County says she's not giving up, exploring all options to ensure a state-level investigation can continue. Vice President Vance claims this afternoon the shooter has absolute immunity against prosecution. The White House steadfastly sticking to its story that the ICE agent who shot Renee Good was responding to a domestic terror attack and was shooting in self-defense. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem speaking in New York.
These individuals had followed our officers all day, had harassed them, had blocked them in. They were impeding our law enforcement operations, which is against the law. And when they demanded and commanded her to get out of her vehicle several times, she did not.
President Trump says Good ran over the shooter, which is not backed up by the video. The Star Tribune identifying the agent as Jonathan Ross, who's described by federal officials as experienced. Several groups are protesting ICE today in Connecticut, in New Haven, New London, and now Hartford, where WFSB reports there are a few dozen protesters outside the federal courthouse.
She shouldn't have been killed, you know. That's an unnecessary escalation. Public pressure needs to be put on ICE right now so that they don't kill again. And that's all it is, you know. They should not be able to kill again. And if we just let this go, if people just kind of go back to their usual lives, they're going to kill again.
There's a 6 p.m. vigil at the ICE Fieldhouse in Hartford. The U.S. House will vote on legislation to extend the federal health care subsidies that expired at the end of the year. Speaker Mike Johnson refused to bring it to the floor, so some Republicans joined Democrats to sign a discharge petition to force a vote. Many of those insured under the Affordable Care Act are paying premiums that have doubled because the subsidies were allowed to run out. A stray bullet killed a person last night in Danbury. The city officials says a gun was fired inside a townhouse. A bullet traveled through the wall, fatally striking a neighbor. Happened around 8:30 p.m. on Lake Avenue. The official says the shooter left the scene and is being sought by police. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 270. S&P climbed 1 point. The NASDAQ was down 104. In sports, the college football playoff semis tonight, the Fiesta Bowl, Miami and Ole Miss. Men's college basketball, CCSU hosting Stone Hill. NHL Bruins at home against Calgary, and the Rangers hosting the Buffalo Sabres. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, we're back and we're alive. Reese on the Radio. And, sometimes this program gets derailed, but I'm accustomed to it. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. So I'm not really all that concerned about the derailing, if you will, of my show. It's got to be one of those places where, sure, we have benchmarks, we have things that we do throughout the day, but we've got to be able to adapt. And that's one of the things I love about this medium is that I can, well, at least I shouldn't say the medium, I love about me, is that I can adapt and do that. But we'll get into some other stories as well that I want to get to the bottom of, because yesterday we were talking about Connecticut being sued. That's not over. Also want to talk about how much money is being spent here in the state of Connecticut, which is a big problem. Roseanne's going to call in, and I want to say roughly about 40 minutes, maybe 30. Yeah, about 40 minutes. She'll call in. Tara, thank you so much for letting me know that WFSB is on location in Hartford at the ICE facility. Roseanne will be there shortly. Tara tells me that there are about 20 protesters there now, and there will be more at 6 o'clock because it's supposed to be a candlelight vigil. I'm also on X, and there are several videos that I'm watching now. In fact, I'm watching one particular video where an elderly woman is standing around shouting at ICE agents, telling them to shoot her. Notice a pattern here? This isn't serious. None of these individuals are serious. It's sad, but that's what it's come to. She is making herself a spectacle because Nicole Good is nothing more than a vehicle for this nonsense to them. They will use her and they will soak up every bit of her to promote themselves and their cause. That's just who they are. They will wring her out until they are done. You know, when's the last time you heard anything about another vigil being held for Trayvon, for Michael Brown? They don't even hold him anymore. You don't even see Trayvon's mom. She used to be everywhere. She used to be at every award show. Soul Train, BET. She used to be out there. She was traipsed out there. Remember Trayvon? No. Remember their names? Say their names? No, nothing yet. They've moved on. Because unfortunately, these folks are about as popular as your favorite Taylor Swift record. Once it's old, it's old. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher, he's getting you home. For those of you who are about to, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading on the westbound side of 84 in Southington, still dealing with an accident. Westbound 84, just west of exit 32 Queen Street. Left and center lanes are blocked. Stay to the right there. Looks like delays are kicking back just prior to exit 33 in Plainville, the 72 exit behind that. Eastbound 84 slowing 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47. South 91 delays 33 to 32. If you're south of downtown, slowing again 23 in Rocky Hill down to 22 in the Route 9 interchange. More slow traffic between 21 and 20, and again 19 to 18 as you move into Meriden on 91 South. If you are traveling into Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. Waterbury's quiet. Southbound Parkway just a little slowdown approaching the West Rock Tunnel. 95 South New Haven slows 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low at 26. There'll be areas of fog and freezing fog overnight first thing tomorrow morning. And that could lead to a few slippery spots at daybreak. Otherwise, cloudy tomorrow. It'll become breezy in the afternoon with some late day rain and drizzle at a high near 45. Windy tomorrow night with occasional rain, especially before midnight, low 37. Saturday, cloudy, rain returning to the area Saturday afternoon, high 42. Right now it is 43 degrees at Bristol. It's 45 in Cheshire and 44 at Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Columbia Dental has great care close to home. Our state-of-the-art network connects all 12 Connecticut locations, making appointments easy. Plus, our Waterbury office now offers a prosthodontist for specialized care. Schedule your appointment today, 860-645-0111.
New year, new goals. But what about a new view? Now is the perfect time to finally plan that remodel with Cristino Kitchens. Whether you're dreaming of a chef-inspired kitchen or a spa-like bathroom, a professional remodel breathes new life into your home. Located in Glastonbury, Cristino Kitchens is locally owned with over 35 years of award-winning experience. From first sketch to final tile, our expert team handles every step with precision and care. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit CristinoKitchens.com.
Let's ring in the new year by finally checking off something that actually matters. Your old videotapes and photos are fading more every year. VCRs are disappearing, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most important memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your memories by converting all your videotapes, photos, and film reels into digital files. And this year, it's easier than ever.
Introducing our biggest kit yet, able to hold up to 80 videotapes or film reels or 2,000 photos. It's perfect for big collections. You can even send in old DVDs, memory cards, flip phones, or early generation iPhones.
Legacy Box is truly the easiest New Year's resolution you'll ever keep. Just fill your box and send it in. As the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos, all work is done in the U.S., and we're trusted by over 1 million families.
Start the new year right by rescuing the moments you haven't watched in years. Go to legacybox.com/radio for an incredible 55% off. That's legacybox.com/radio for 55% off.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On News Talk 1080, WTIC.
We're back. Listen to this. Can't? Too low? Can you hear that? Barely? Okay. Yeah, that's the woman who is screaming, shoot me, shoot me. I'm your grandmother. Shoot me, shoot me. This is all performative. It's actually kind of sad to watch that this woman would be out there, but she is. I do want to play this because J.D. Vance began speaking to the press. He was at the press briefing today in Caroline Leavitt's stead, and he was addressing the public on this very, obvious, but fever-pitched event that's taking place in Minneapolis, or Minnesota for that matter. But he was asked by Peter Doocy a very important question. Now, again, folks, listen to what is being said by J.D. Vance. I don't care what you think about this administration. It doesn't matter. I want you to think about this, and I want to set it up for you. The President of the United States and the federal government, if they want to, they will put a microscope in your rear end that will rival the work of a colonoscopy. You know it. I know it. They will find out everything they can about you, and they can do it in seconds. There is a file on you, and they'll know everything, especially with the little cyber nerds that work for them. So think about that when you listen to this.
You just suggested that this woman who was killed, Renee Good, is part of a broader left-wing network. Who do you think is behind this broader left-wing network?
Well, it's one of the things we're going to have to figure out, but here's the way that I put it. When somebody throws a brick at an ICE agent, or somebody tries to run over an ICE agent, who paid for the brick? And who told protesters to show up and engage in violent activity against our law enforcement officers? You see, just with this most recent terrible incident in Minneapolis, you see friends of this woman's or other people who are eyewitnesses saying basically that she was there to engage in obstruction of a legitimate law enforcement operation. How did she get there? How did she learn about this? There's an entire network, and frankly, some of the media are participating in it, that is trying to incite violence against our law enforcement officers. It's ridiculous, it's preposterous, and part of our investigatory work is getting to the bottom of it. Who's funding it, who's supporting it, who's cheerleading it, and of course, if there's illegal activity related to that, we're gonna get to the bottom of that and prosecute it where we can.
Now, again, this is the Vice President of the United States making a claim that everybody should be listening to. He is saying, where did she or how did she know what ICE agents were doing? Because ICE agents, again, have to inform local law enforcement of their actions. Why? Because some of them are plainclothes or undercover, and they do not look like regular folks. And the police department has to know that they are coming into town. Why? Because if they see guys with their guns drawn, they don't think that it's some sort of weird ambush going on in the middle of their jurisdiction. Right? So they know, hey, guys, be on the lookout. ICE is coming through the neighborhood doing blah, blah, blah. They can hate it. They can be angry about it, but the federal government has a right to go through it. So why would an average citizen like Nicole Good know that they were coming through? Why would they know where the ICE officers are going to be? Because obviously somebody leaked it. Obviously somebody made it available for the general public and these rabble-rousers to know about it. And she's there. And somebody is paying for that information, or they're aiding and abetting in getting that information to the protesters. So they can do what? They can obstruct justice. So there is a network that's going on. Because, again, this is an average citizen. Remember, folks, she's a poet and a mother and a compassionate, everyday American. Right? And it doesn't matter that she doesn't like the sitting president. It doesn't matter. That's her constitutional right to hate him. She moved out of the country and then moved back to the country. She was allowed to move freely in this country and out of it. Started in Colorado. But there she was, folks, right there in the middle of an ICE agent's investigation while they're picking up illegals. And you don't think the federal government has put a microscope in her background and her wife's background and found out exactly who told them and who's aiding these folks in getting the information? You don't think they know within seconds that they make a public statement like that? We're not talking about Donald Trump, who says a lot of crazy things, as you guys like to say. We're talking about J.D. Vance here, a very measured man who just said, we know. We know. And he also threw in there, some of the members of the media are also assisting in that network. And you know that's to be true too. Why? Because the media has made it their role. They made it their lot in life to do what? To thwart the administration of Donald J. Trump. To report it in that way, to sow divide in the country with people who don't already like him, and to absolutely put a stop to this administration. They've openly admitted it, and you know it. So, all these people, again, you're probably going to say afterwards, they're going to plant stuff on her. They're going to lie about her. Okay. Let's wait and see. Now, if I can for a minute before I go to the phones, let me tell you what I would do. Just let me tell you what I would do if I were J.D. Vance or Donald Trump in this. I would make all of you put your feet in the cement of supporting this woman while I knew everything about her wife, and the network she was involved in. I would allow all of you to literally put your fingerprints in the cement and stand there and say, this is the truth. I would have you waving flags in her honor, celebrating, walking down the street, pointing out people on social media, you don't support Nicole, blah, blah, blah. And I would make sure that the whole world knew your names. All of you. I would point it out. You, Jim, you, Bob, you, Susie, all of you. You all supported her. And then when they were all ready and they were all slathered in their support of this person, I would release the goods. And I would say, Larry and Susie, and all, look at who they were siding with. Look at the network of the people that Nicole and her wife were involved in. Look at the people who were giving them that information. This guy, that guy, this one. This organization, that organization, these millionaires and billionaires sowing divide inside the neighborhood. Look at all of these oligarchs that they were in bed with, getting paid with, getting their lives financed by. And then I would say, do you stand with them? And they would run and hide. Oh, they would scurry. Everybody run back to their spider hole, and they would act like nothing happened. But boy, would I wait. I would wait until, you had to be like absolutely dipped in that rhetoric so that when people recognize them, they recognize you. And then I would expose it all and I would embarrass you in front of the world. That's what I would do. So trust me when I tell you, when these people argue with me on social media, you don't know. It's like, dude, I don't really care. I already know how this works out. This works out the same way it always has. Hands up, don't shoot wasn't a thing. Where are you today on that? Huh? Well, Trayvon Martin was just an innocent kid. Huh? Where are you today? Was he grounding and pounding George Zimmerman on the ground while he lay there defenseless? While a 6'2", 185-pound Trayvon Martin straddled him and beat him across the face, pummeling him. Where are you now? I thought it was just some innocent kid going to get some Skittles. Where's the rhetoric on that now? Yeah, I know how this works out. As soon as you jump the gun, I wait. And I wait again until you're bathing in it. And then I come back and I go, hey, remember when? And then all of a sudden, all of you get amnesia. Immediately, you all become Joe Biden. What did you say? What did you say? I don't remember that. I was with who? Who's that? Michael Brown? I'm not familiar. All of you become old man Joe. I don't remember that. Are you sure? So it was me. I was the guy. Are you sure? Sam is in Windsor. What's up, Sam?
I am actually at the rally.
Let's talk, baby. So
you want to talk to some of the rally people, or you want to talk to this lady Roseanne? Who do you want to talk to?
Okay, okay, Roseanne has already arrived. Let me do this. Is Roseanne with you?
She is standing in front of me.
Okay, put Roseanne on the phone if I could. Hello, my dear.
Okay, uno momento.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not there yet.
You're...
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Okay, so give me the layout. How many people do we got there?
2, 4, 6. And we have one gentleman, Rice. I sent you the video. He's running for Congress to unseat Delario.
Okay. Okay, that's an interesting point of reference. Okay, so we have one person there who is there to I guess, as a campaign event. So you've only got 6 people there.
Thus far, correct.
Okay. From which group are they with?
This is 50. It's 50-51. Yeah. There will be multiple organizations here
Okay.
at 6 o'clock.
Okay, at 6 o'clock, so people are starting to set up.
Trickle in, yeah.
Okay, so are there any signs available yet?
Yes.
Okay, can you read me one?
No.
No.
It's not radio appropriate.
It is not radio appropriate. So there is some
Right.
language associated with some of those photographs. I mean, some of those
Yes.
signs.
One sign, yes.
Okay, one particular sign. Are there
just one sign.
Okay, are there expletives on the sign?
Yes.
Okay, are they referencing ice or?
Yes.
Okay, they are referencing. Okay.
Yes, it is one of those multi-versatile 4-letter words that can be utilized as a verb, and in this particular instance, it is utilized as a verb.
Okay. You are so colorful, sweetheart. Okay. All right. So it's early on. We're about an hour before the actual protest, or vigil, as they're calling it.
Yes.
So we will, I guess we'll wait it out until roughly about 5:30. Can you guys call back at around 5:30, 5:35?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. We will do that. I'll have Sam do that.
All right. You got it. Thank you, sweetie.
All right.
All right.
Absolutely.
You got
Bye.
it. All right. So there they are. They're alive in Hartford at the ICE facility. They'll be talking to some people there, seeing if we can get some response to, or at least maybe we'll get somebody on the air. Who knows? Let me take this real quick. Greg is in Farmington. Hello, Greg.
Hey, I'm just trying to figure out. So, okay, she was an agitator. Trayvon Martin, maybe not the best kid. The lady at the Capitol who was shot by the police.
Ashley Babbitt.
Ashley Babbitt. Did any of them deserve to die?
Yeah, did you hear me make a reference that they deserved anything?
No, but I'm saying, you're saying that she wasn't like a good person or whatever. She's an agitator.
I didn't suggest she
still
wasn't a
doesn't
good
deserve
person.
to die.
I didn't suggest she wasn't a good person. I never suggested what type of person she is. I don't even imply what type of person she is.
Well, you're implying that once we have our feet in the concrete, you're going to slap us silly because she wasn't a good person.
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said is that I wait for people to plant their feet in the ground on a certain narrative. Let's talk about the narrative in general. The narrative as it pertains to Nicole Good is that Nicole Good was not a part of a protest impeding ICE officers. We are now learning that that is emphatically untrue. That is, again, what was everyone saying yesterday before any evidence came out? That this woman wasn't even related to this. This was just an average bystander on the street. Then they told us that she was a legal observer of what ICE agents were doing. That turned out to be a lie. So there are everyone who doesn't know a word about this woman jumping out a window telling us or trying to describe to us who she is. And every time you do, you guys end up with egg on your face, is what I'm saying.
So you consider her a domestic terrorist then?
No. First of all, thank you for the question, and no.
So when the president and Noam and
I can't
JD
speak. I can't speak for them. I can't speak for them, and whatever they say, they hold.
You always speak for them.
No, I do not, sir. I am telling you that whatever Kristi Noem said, whatever Donald Trump said, and whatever J.D. Vance said, they are responsible for. I am responsible for what I said, and if you didn't hear me call her a domestic terrorist, then it wasn't said by me.
Well, you're saying all the other people who are lining up, to say she wasn't this and she wasn't that, but you're not saying anything about Donald Trump.
It's not my job to say anything about Donald Trump because it's not about. It isn't about Donald Trump because Donald Trump did. No, sir. It's not. No. It is not on me to put anything on Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't fire a gun.
No.
Okay. And Nicole Good and Nicole Good.
Lighting the fuse.
Well, it seems like you're making this about Donald Trump when Donald Trump has nothing to do with it. I'm
making this about did she deserve to die?
No. And again, never said. I'm going to say it again. Never did I say or suggest she deserved to die, and you can't hold me to something I never said or suggest.
But you're saying these people were like Trayvon Martin wasn't a good person.
No, I never said that. I said that Trayvon Martin was beating a man on top of him, ground and pounding him, as displayed by the witnesses in his trial. But hold on. Stay on the line. I don't want to lose you. Stay here. Hold on. Let me take a break. Let's get to Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to Greg again because he's got a lot of great questions, but I want to make sure he's clear on few things. Greg, go nowhere. We'll get to you in a sec. Here's Mark Christopher in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. If you're westbound 84 coming into East Hartford, you got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Then you're going to see a slow ride again as you move out between exit 36 in New Britain out to exit 33 in Plainville. And then you're going to see more slow traffic again westbound 84 as you move into Southington. We have an accident between exit 30 and 29, and right now the left and center lanes are blocked there. You want to stay to the right. Delays are approaching exit 31 in Southington behind that. Eastbound 84, look for delays 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. Southbound 91, delays 33 in Hartford down to 32 A and B. A little tight again as you move down by exit 23 West Street and Rocky Hill. You'll see another bump as you move approaching exit 19 down to 18 and the 691 interchange in Meriden. Now, if you are heading into Middletown right now, 9 north and southbound slowing as you approach the Aragoni Bridge. Southbound Parkway a little tight 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. South 95 New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by NJM Insurance Group.
Why is NJM Insurance silent in an industry full of catchy jingles? And how do they do what's right when things go wrong? Tune into Baffling Mysteries to find out.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy the rest of today and warm by January standards. High 47 degrees and partly cloudy tonight. Areas of fog developing overnight. Freezing fog can lead to a few isolated slick spots. Low 26. Could be some fog and freezing fog early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy. Breezy in the afternoon. Bit of rain and drizzle at a high of 45. Windy tomorrow night with occasional rain, especially early. Low 37. Saturday cloudy. More rain in the afternoon at high 42. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
37 degrees at 5. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Minneapolis on edge the day after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in a car. Border Patrol officers pushed protesters back from a gate outside a federal building early this morning, firing tear gas. CBS's Asher Karashi has details on the ICE agent who killed 37-year-old Renee Good, identified by the Star Tribune as Jonathan Ross.
We're told the agent is Minneapolis-based, has more than 10 years on the job, and was also involved in a separate use of force incident during a traffic stop last June when he was dragged by a suspect during an arrest. He suffered significant lacerations in that incident that required 33 stitches.
The shooter walked up and down the street just after the shooting but did not seek medical attention for the victim. CBS's Matt Gutman says that's a big concern for protesters.
People in the community here are telling us that the source of their anger was absolutely seeing somebody not being tended to when they obviously had extremely serious wounds and when they had medical personnel who could have attended them but were not allowed to do so.
The White House calls this a domestic terror attack. Vice President Vance spoke at the White House.
The vice president was angry, especially at the media.
The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace.
Without evidence, Vance called the woman who was killed part of a movement of radical leftists, a movement, he said, that's trying to block ICE agents from carrying out immigration arrests.
The president stands with ICE. I stand with ICE. We stand with all of our law enforcement officers.
Vance also said the video shows the woman trying to run over the officer, but various angles have created many questions, and a full investigation is just beginning. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Governor Lamont today called the shooting unnecessary and unjustifiable.
And I think these ICE agents wearing their masks, often hired by a bounty just in the last couple of months, lack the training and a lot of tragedies like you saw. And I'm just shocked that more people aren't speaking out as I am today.
A federal grand jury in Bridgeport has indicted a Naugatuck man accused of extensive child exploitation. The U.S. attorney says 22-year-old Sean Sayer demanded and received sexually explicit images from an 8-year-old boy in Oregon in return for playing Fortnite. There are about 90 other victims. Sayer faces several charges, including production of child pornography. He's currently free on a $150,000 bond. He's on a GPS monitor. The Senate advances a resolution that would limit President Trump's ability to conduct further attacks on Venezuela. The vote 52-47, with 5 Republicans joining Democrats. President Trump heavily criticizing those Republicans today, saying they should never be reelected. This is Rhode Island Democrat Jack Reed.
Congress exists to provide oversight and scrutiny of the executive branch, not to cheer from the sidelines. I commend our servicemen for their performance last weekend, but I am deeply concerned by the Trump administration's lack of serious planning for the next phase. That is why this War Powers resolution is necessary.
There will be a vote next week on final passage. Trump tells the New York Times U.S. oversight over Venezuela could last for years. A stray bullet killed a person last night in Danbury. A city official says a gun was fired inside a townhouse. The bullet traveled through the wall, fatally striking a neighbor. He's not been identified. It happened around 8:30 p.m. on Lake Avenue. The official says the shooter left the scene and is being sought by police. On Wall Street, defense stocks were up after President Trump said he wants to massively increase military spending. Lockheed Martin, owner of Sikorsky, climbed 4.3%, and Northrop Grumman added 2.4%. The Dow was up 270, back above 49,000. S&P was +1. The NASDAQ was down 104. Sports, NFL, the Miami Dolphins fire coach Mike McDaniel. College football playoffs tonight, the semis, Miami against Ole Miss. Men's college basketball, CCSU hosting Stonehill. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On News Radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. Reese on the Radio right here. No music news today, of course, because, you know, we're covering this story wall to wall. Roseanne is out at the ICE facility in Hartford as the protesters are there. Tara tells me they are leaving. I'm not sure what's going on. There's supposed to be a whole bunch of people there. If this is some weak sauce, man, I'm going to call it out there because I'm driving there immediately after the show. So just to let you know, I will be there. Greg didn't want to stay on the line and hold for us so we could get to the bottom of this. Joe is in the chat room at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. He says, stop with the Trayvon Martin lies. You can't even spell the guy's name. It's Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman was the aggressor throughout that incident. Talk about revisionist history. The aggressor how? What are you talking about? The aggressor how? Did you watch the trial? Did you listen to Gentile's testimony in the trial? The young lady who was on the phone with Trayvon? Did you listen to that? It's online. You go back and get a refresher on that. I did. I watched the entire trial because that's my job. Who was the aggressor? Let me break this down to you. Trayvon was afraid of homosexuals. Did you know that? Because Gentile told us when she says, you better be careful. That guy could be a homosexual child predator out to get you. Did you know that? Yeah, you didn't watch the trial. None of you did. I did. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading on the westbound side of 84, you got delays now approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. On the westbound side of 84, a little slow again as you move between 36 and 35 in New Britain. Then you're back into some heavy stop and go approaching 32 Queen Street in Southington. We have an accident 84 westbound right at exit 30, and the left and center lanes are blocked there, so you want to stay to the right with that. If you are traveling on the eastbound side of 84, look for slow traffic approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Again down by exit 28. Slowing again 24 down to exit 23 West Street and Rocky Hill. More slow traffic again between 20 and 19 as you move Middletown into Meriden. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are heading into Waterbury right now, that looks good. Both sides of 84, both sides of Route 8. And southbound 95 is tight in New Haven, 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Southbound Parkway delays 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Sponsored by Petro Home Services. Winter weather won't stop Petro from keeping you warm. With reliable delivery and 24/7 service in any weather, go to petro.com to get $125 free heating oil or call 877-230-0221.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy tonight, low 26. Areas of fog overnight and the first thing tomorrow morning, and even freezing fog with a temperature below freezing. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy, turning breezy tomorrow afternoon, late day rain, and a high of 45. On and off rain tomorrow night, mostly before midnight. Cloudy and breezy, low 37. Saturday cloudy with some more rain moving in Saturday afternoon. Rain could be heavy Saturday evening. Saturday side 42. Right now it is 39 in Berlin. It's 40 degrees in Unionville and 42 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I needed a refresh in my home. I needed to zhuzh up my dull gray walls, and I knew just who to call. Serta Pro Painters. They gave me free estimates, reliable communication, and professional painting, all at the right price. They left my home spotless, and they even helped me pick out a color that I love. I also love each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. So if your home needs a zhuzh too, schedule your free estimate online today at CertaPro.com. That's Serta with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Serta Pro Painters.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We'll get to the phones in a second here on Reese on the Radio at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842 if you wish to chime in about this. And thank you all for the calls, whether for or against. I like hearing from you on this subject. Tara in the chat room brought something very interesting to my attention that I overlooked. And Tara, thank you for catching it, because this is important. Yesterday during the show, I played this audio of a woman who witnessed the shooting. And she did say something that was interesting as it relates to what J.D. Vance said at the press briefing today. And that is, there was a network of people who are giving information to these folks. There was a convoy of cars that were impeding traffic and the feds. And this woman who gave an account said something that she slipped up on. She almost said it. Tara caught it, and she's right. The woman was about to say she was doing what she was paid to do. Listen yourself.
They clearly wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her, but she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do.
Did you hear it? She stopped herself. Here's her again.
She was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do.
Yeah, that's what she was paid to do.
And so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. That was her goal.
So there we are. We're witnesses saying exactly what went on. Let's go to the phones. Tom and Hebron. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Reese. I like your program very much, and I thank you. I have one question, and I'll close.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in the Constitution that says that anyone can come to America and not be investigated or vetted? And is this the root issue of what's going on today? Thank you.
The root issue of what's going on today is that when people come into the United States, that they have a constitutional right to not be vetted or a constitutional right not to be investigated. No, especially if they commit a crime. And I think that, look, as I said a week ago, I want to say, maybe just after the new year, I said the thing that people are going to have to accept is that people believe that immigrants who come into the country, be it legal or illegal, or minority groups who are citizens of this great nation, have a blanket of protection over them that says that they cannot be held accountable for their actions if they are indeed crimes. And why? Because there are a group of people on the opposite side of that, usually those who see themselves as privileged and white or affluent or the ruling class, who believe it is their job to run interference on said group. What they fail to say, even though they mean to say it, is that the reason why they have to run interference for these groups of people is because they themselves are the only civilized amongst them. You can't expect him to get married, get in it, or let me phrase it this way. You can't expect them to get an education, get a good job, get married, start a family, and be a part of the mainstream because of this, that, and the third. Either it's not cultural to them, that's not the way their people do it, or they weren't raised that way. We have to understand the cultural differences of those individuals. Like they're all living in their own separate little Idaho where things are done a different way. Look, think about it this way. If you don't think that this is true, that they believe that small black communities where there's a certain rule of thumb in those communities for cultural reasons, if you don't think that they believe that about black communities or Hispanic communities, explain to me Dearborn, Michigan. Explain to me Dearborn, Michigan, where they are quietly turning that neighborhood, that town, that municipality into their own private Idaho with their own rules. It's just a matter of time where Dearborn, Michigan will have Sharia law little outposts where they'll be able to tell the police, hold on, we will deal with him through our justice. We will not punish him the white man's way. We will punish him our way, through our laws, the way that we do. You don't think so? And what do you think? What do you think the white man will say when that happens? Well, I don't want to intrude there, buddy. Absolutely. You know, he's a Muslim man, and yes, I don't want to interfere culturally in the way that you do things your way. No, have at it. Absolutely. I think it's just. We, for a long time, have oppressed you people, and it's only right that you handle him criminally in a way that suits your cultural needs. There are people out here who are laughing at that, but there are others who are saying to themselves, well, kinda, Reese. You really? Who here thinks, and I'm kidding, who here thinks I'm out of sorts? That you're not going to see in one of these neighborhoods where someone says, what? Oh, if you think that's crazy, did you hear that report? I think this is in Michigan as well. In fact, I'll look it up during the next break. In Michigan, they just passed a law about slaughtering animals in their community. I know you read this story. I know you've seen it. Right? They could, and why? And why? For cultural reasons. You were supposed to do it in a certain, but now the law is passed, so you could slaughter them right in your kitchen. Mommy, what are you doing? Ew! What are you doing? Stop. No, calm down. Stop being so squeamish. This is how we do it back home. Yeah. People think I'm crazy. Okay. Laugh now. What is that? Listen to me now. Believe me later. I don't do it. Like I said, I don't say this stuff to be... some of it is tongue-in-cheek. But you know damn well I'm telling the truth here. Come on. You guys know that culturally, in this country, we are seeing it literally dwindle away. Why? Why is everyone acquiescing? Well, Reese, we've been imperialist. We're telling everybody to do things our way. It's unfair. It's unfair to certain groups. And I think it's only right. They feel like they're at home. Let's go back to the phones. Ryan is in Coventry. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, Reese. Hey, I was looking at, I'm glad that you brought up Higgins. I thought you cleared that up pretty good from this morning.
Thank you.
And I was looking at some of the cases in Connecticut where very similar situations, and the state's attorney's office cleared them each time. Most notably, Wethersfield and Bridgeport, two cases that look very similar to this. And I just wish when Ned Lamont would go out and put out these statements, we'd have a media that would actually ask him, well, if this happened in Connecticut, what would you think then?
Yeah.
It's over political, they're making it political. No one holds them to the fire on it, and it's crazy to me.
But you know what? As the protesters, the woman I spoke to today, who was one of the protesters there, a young lady named Lily, I made it very clear to her that you are using a tragedy in another state over 1,000 miles away to promote your own cause and get, media attention to your name. You are utilizing this woman's death for your own personal gain. And Ned Lamont is no different in this case, this police, this commissioner for the state police, to tell us what the rules are in Connecticut has absolutely no bearing on what happened in Minnesota at all. His opinion, I guess, for the lack of a better word, his opinion on the matter, to use Connecticut as a backdrop to then sort of indict the ICE agent in Minnesota is absolutely reckless.
Oh, it absolutely is. It really is. It's out of control. It really sounded like he didn't really have a good clue of what was going on, anyways. And whatever.
Well, someone in the chat room, I'll read to you what they said. Moose 59 in the chat room. He said this: the reason Commissioner Higgins was brought in was to promote Connecticut's ruling class mantra: "Our ish doesn't stink. Our pompous liberal superiority." That's what that was, and he's right. He's so on point there.
No, absolutely. No,
it's spot on. It's spot on. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you, man. How you doing? Happy New Year, buddy.
Hey, Happy New Year to you as well.
You got it.
Bro.
You got it. That's the thing. Again, it's like it's everyone taking a national story. I remember one day, this was an incredible sort of like deep dive into news media that I didn't understand, but I'm so glad I watched the movie to get it, because I immediately started asking what it meant when I saw it. There's a film by Ron Howard called The Paper. If you haven't seen it, please do. It's a great movie just to watch, and it is an all-star cast. I mention it all the time. Randy Quaid, Michael Keaton, Marissa Tomei, Glenn Close, Robert Duvall. Who else is in it? Spalding Gray. He's got a quick scene in the beginning of the movie. But this movie is fantastic. Mike Sheehan, former police officer and Fox 5 News reporter Mike Sheehan, is in the film at the end of the movie. Jason Alexander also makes a surprise role in the film. This movie is absolutely awesome for guys who like this medium, the news medium. And the interesting part is, in the beginning of the movie, they're doing a sort of like a round table in the editor's room, covering the stories that are going to be in the next paper. So Robert Duvall and all these, the big actors are there talking about it. And there was a terrorist attack in Israel. And as they're going through it, there's one very important thing they have to address in talking about the terrorist attack, is that someone from New York was there. So they keep talking about these international stories, like a plane crash or, a terrorist bombing, whatever it was. And they needed someone who was involved in that was from New York City, or the New York City area. And I remember asking, after I saw that movie and I got into the radio business, I said, have you ever seen that scene where they're all trying to, they're telling their stories and they're leading, and everybody kept asking, do we have anybody from the region? Do we have anybody from the region? Do we have anybody from the region? And each story had to lead with that. They were like, yeah, we got 2 people from Schenectady. And they were like, okay, that's the one we're leading with. And here's why. It's real simple. It's to localize an international story, or to localize a story outside of their region. It's to connect. That's exactly what's happening here. Ned Lamont, what do you think, as a governor of Connecticut, about the situation going on in Minneapolis? How does this affect Connecticut? Because, again, when you're watching the news, you want to know what's happening in your backyard. But a national news story like this, it is important to the news media to localize it. Sometimes it gets a little reckless. And that's the whole case with Higgins. What Higgins says in here means nothing in the grand scheme. It advances nothing. To talk about the rules or the laws or the rules of engagement by Connecticut state troopers, it has nothing to do with what we are talking about or this story at all. It's not even filler. It's unnecessary. It's pointless. It's not even air. It's a fart. That's all. With all due respect. That's what it was. And I think we all know that, because it's pointless. Shooting didn't happen here. So, with that, we move on. We get another check of weather and traffic. Mama Bear in Mansfield, thank you. I will check that link when we go to break, as we check weather and traffic with Mark Christopher, who's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84, coming into downtown Hartford right now. Look for delays from just before the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Again, you're tight from just after exit 33 on the Plainville-Southington line out to exit 30 in Southington. An accident there. It looks like it may have just cleared. It was in the left and center lanes westbound at exit 30, so that might have cleared, but that's the delay there as you push up into that area. If you're 84 eastbound, slowing 46th Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. If you're traveling southbound 91 into Hartford, delays 34 down to 32 A and B. Slow traffic again 27 down to 28. Delays again 24 down to 23 as you move down into Rocky Hill. And you'll see more slow traffic sluggish from exit 20 Country Club Road in Middletown down to exit 17 for the Wilbur-Cross Parkway in Meriden. Traveling 291 eastbound's a little slow over the Bissell Bridge as you move Windsor into South Windsor. 9 southbound's a little tight at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you're traveling on the westbound side of 691, delays approaching 7 up to exit 8B to 84 west. And if you're traveling southbound 95 New Haven, delays 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Look out for an accident southbound on the Parkway down in Orange prior to exit 42B. Look for delays behind that back to exit 59, back to exit 46 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy the rest of today and warm by January standards, high 47 degrees, and partly cloudy tonight. Areas of fog developing overnight. Freezing fog can lead to a few isolated slick spots, low 26. Could be some fog and freezing fog early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy, breezy in the afternoon, bit of rain and drizzle at a high of 45. Windy tomorrow night with occasional rain, especially early, low 37. Saturday cloudy, more rain in the afternoon at high 42. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
36 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Temperatures dropping. Watch for icing out there. Minnesota State Investigations Agency says the U.S. Attorney's Office is barring it from taking part in the investigation into yesterday's ICE shooting of a 37-year-old woman. The Hennepin County Attorney says her office will still pursue justice. One of the things upsetting protesters and Democratic Governor Tim Walz is evidence Renee Good was denied medical attention as she bled to death.
I saw an individual at the scene identify themselves as medical personnel, a physician, and asked to provide aid, and an ICE agent said, "I do not care." That lack of humanity was chilling to me.
The White House claims the shooter was responding to a domestic terror attack. This is Vice President Vance.
What I'm certain of is that she accelerated in a way where she ran into the guy. I don't know what was in her heart and what was in her head, but I know that she violated the law, and I know that officer was acting in self-defense.
Commenting in Hartford, Governor Lamont is calling for accountability.
She's a young mom. Her name is Good. She was in her neighborhood. And I'd like to think that politics aside, everybody in this country stands up to that type of horror and inhumanity.
He calls the shooting unnecessary and unjustifiable. He adds that communities have become terrorized by armed and masked ICE agents. House Republican leader Vin Candelora takes exception, saying that kind of rhetoric only inflames tensions. A Waterbury man is under arrest in a fatal hit-and-run crash. Police say it was December 28th at about 9:15 p.m. when police found a pedestrian struck and down on Reedville Drive. 43-year-old Sabrina Starkey died at the hospital. The driver left the scene. Investigation led police to 23-year-old Dion Shanton. He was arrested at a probation appointment yesterday. He faces charges including evading responsibility resulting in death. He's held on $100,000 bond. On Wall Street, the Dow was up 270, back above 49,000. S&P was plus 1 point. The NASDAQ was down 104 with a jobs report due tomorrow. In sports, the NFL's Miami Dolphins have fired coach Mike McDaniel. The college football playoff semis tonight in the Fiesta Bowl. Miami plays Ole Miss. Men's college basketball, CCSU hosting Stonehill, and the NHL, the Bruins at home against Calgary, and the Sabres at the Rangers. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager. WTIC 1080 News.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, Reese on the radio. Roseanne is on the scene. She is on the line. She's still there. The events are about to begin in less than a half an hour. We'll talk to them when we come back from Weather and Traffic with Mark Christopher. I'm in a chat room. I don't like relitigating old stories from 2013, but if we have to, when people start, asking certain questions, I mentioned Trayvon Martin, so of course in mentioning him, people then say, try to relitigate with me. That's not what happened. Listen to me, with all due respect. As far as the Trayvon Martin case goes, as well as the Michael Brown case and George Floyd, Eric Garner, every one of these cases, I know better than I know my Social Security number, much less my birth date, okay? I know these stories backwards and forwards because I've committed them to memory. But just because we're here, and I've got a minute or so to do it so I can dispatch the silliness coming from this guy, Joe, he said, and I quote, "Yes, Trayvon Martin followed Zimmerman because he was stalking him. His alleged fear of homosexuals is irrelevant. What are you talking about? I think I made it clear. Zimmerman spotted Trayvon doing nothing in the neighborhood and called the police because he was suspicious. He was, but there's a broader story to that. Nothing I could get into here in a short amount of time, but one day I'll be happy to tell you about it. The police dispatcher told Zimmerman to stay in his car and let the police come handle it. That couldn't be further from the truth. But Joe, since you're listening, let's have a little gentleman wager on this, okay? Here's the wager. If I can prove to you that the dispatcher told George Zimmerman no such thing, and in fact the police dispatcher had no authority to tell him anything as to what to do, I want you to call up this network at 860-522-WTIC and apologize for getting such a detail so wrong. Because I will tell you in a minute exactly what the dispatcher said and why the dispatcher has no legal authority to give instructions. 1, George Zimmerman was already following Trayvon. The dispatcher recognized George Zimmerman huffing on the phone. And he says, "Where are you?" He says, "I'm following him." He says, "We don't need you to do that." The dispatcher is not allowed to give instructions to anyone on the 911 line. Why? Because if the dispatcher gives you an instruction that causes your death or injury, the police department can be sued. They have no right to tell you what to do as dispatchers. That's why those 911 dispatchers are usually civilians. They are not authority. But you probably didn't know that in Florida, Sanford in particular. But again, I followed the case. You go do your research, get back to me, and when you find out that I'm right, call up the number and apologize. Okay? Now let's get to another check of weather and traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone. And if you're traveling on the southbound side of I-91, look for slow traffic now approaching exit 33 Jennings Road down to 32A and B. South of downtown, a little tight, 27 to 28. Back in the stop and go again, 25 S&N down to exit 24 in Rocky Hill. And some more delays as you push down from Middletown into Meriden between exit 20 and exit 18 in the 691 interchange. Westbound side of 84 slows approaching the Boakley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Again, you're going to see slow traffic from exit 33 in Plainville up to exit 31 in Southington. Those kicked off from two earlier accidents that are now cleared. And that will start to ease out now. Eastbound side of 84, you've got slow traffic 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Boakley Bridge. If you are heading into Middletown right now, that looks good. 9 in the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Cheshire, some sluggish traffic. 691 interchange up to exit 26 in Cheshire. If you are traveling southbound on the Wilbur-Cross Parkway, we had an accident down just prior to exit 42B in Orange. That might have cleared, but we've got delays still, though, as you move up on exit 50 in Hamden down to that exit 58 problem down in Orange. Southbound 91 in New Haven, you've got delays now from exit 6 in toward the 95 interchange. 95 southbound slowing 48 in New Haven down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy tonight, low 26. There could be areas of freezing fog late tonight, the first thing tomorrow morning. That's fog and dampness combined with temperatures below freezing. Otherwise, tomorrow cloudy. It can be breezy in the afternoon. It's a late day rain and drizzle at high up to 45. Occasional rain tomorrow night, mostly before midnight. Windy at times tomorrow night, low 37. Cloudy on Saturday, rain returning to the area Saturday afternoon and evening. Saturday's high at 42. Right now it is 39 in Manchester. It's 40 degrees in Torrington and 42 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Brian Shackman here for QC Kinetics. Listen, all of those New Year's resolutions are coming from you at all sides. But when it comes to joint pain, if you're suffering, you can do something about it right now. And at QC Kinetics, they have a free consultation. You go in there, you talk to them. If it's right for you, great. At the minimum, you learn something about your body. And whether it's hips, shoulders, back, whatever it is, if it hurts, they can help you. It's non-invasive. There's no surgery. There's no drugs. You can skip that 3 to 6 months of recovery. Give QC Kinetics a call. And again, they're in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury, so chances are they're really close to you. So stop doing nothing. Start doing something with QC Kinetics and get moving without pain. And it's a new phone number, so grab your pencil so you can set up that free consultation at 860-850-2682. Again, 860-850-2682. Again, QC Kinetics, they're in Avon, Glastonbury, and New Haven. If you have joint pain, you want to do something about it, set up that free consultation at 860-850-2682.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, let's get right to it. Roseanne, Adam 12, and Sam the Man on the street is at the protest in Hartford. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Doing all right. We've started getting a little bit of some heat. I got video. Gentlemen out here screaming at everybody not to talk to me. I'm an agitator, and I've tried to tell them we're just here to make sure your message gets out. And they're getting a little less than friendly with the press. I don't have credentials, and so I've been labeled an agitator.
Okay, so, well, that's going to happen no matter what you ask. So you're only asking the question, tell us why you're here.
2 questions. What brought you out here tonight, and what are you hoping to accomplish? Those are my 2 questions.
Okay, and that has now deemed you as an agitator.
Yes, that makes me an agitator.
Are we seeing a large group of people there? Like, if you had to count...
I would say maybe about 150 people.
Okay, that's a good turnout. That's not a horrible turnout.
Good turnout, yeah. And honestly, it's a nice, quiet group. They are not, crazy and chaotic. They're not screaming profanities. They're not agitating. Nothing like that.
Okay,
it's a very quiet group.
Are there agents outside protecting the perimeter in any way? Like, is that sort of, provoking any angst from the group there, or is it just everybody's inside and it's just the protesters outside?
It's just protesters outside. Thank you. Just protesters outside. You can hear people driving by and honking. There is some police officers. Police presence is here.
Right.
But as far as federal agents, there doesn't appear to be any movement at all, even inside the building. The front of the building is completely empty, closed. It looks like a closed business right now.
Okay, so it looks like it's closed for business. It's like there's no one outside. They're not having to worry about the perimeter. There is a police presence there. Did they put up sort of like a protest zone, if you will, in around the perimeter? Like, in other words, sort of like a mosh pit, if you will, that just says protesters protest here.
No, they're just standing on the street, on the sidewalk in front of the building. There's no barricade. There's no police tape. There's nothing designating this specifically as a protest area. It's just people.
Okay, and the police officers are fine? Like, there's no one agitating them or antagonizing them in any way?
So law enforcement is across the street, down about half a block on either side.
Okay.
And like I said, it's a relatively peaceful group. There's nothing really going on. They're just standing here holding their signs.
How about
by honking?
How about the presence of the news media? Is it just cameras, or are reporters present?
Thus far, it's been mostly just independent, small independent people. I did see a media van, but they're across the street filming. They're not even attempting to engage.
Okay, so are they standing like further away and just filming from afar?
Across the street, yeah.
What? Do you know which media outlet it is?
It is 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, so we're looking. That's WFSB.
All right. Well, they're the only ones like legitimately labeled law enforcement that I can see.
Okay. Well, you mean media?
I mean media. My apologies.
That's okay.
Law enforcement just walked by.
Yeah. All right. So so the media presence is WFSB. No TNH. No NBC Connecticut. Just one. I guess maybe they'll show up in a little bit afterwards. No one will talk to you. No one's asked. You've asked questions, and what if you can describe it, Roseanne? Is it just like we've seen in videos where you you start to engage with someone, and then a second person comes over and tells them not to talk to you?
Yeah, I've actually got video of the young kid that got in front of me and started screaming, "Don't talk to them. They're agitators."
Okay, so you would engage with someone, and then someone else would intervene.
Correct.
Okay, good. You do have video of that. Okay, we'll break all that down, and we'll do it on tomorrow's show. Other than that, you feel safe? The guys are keeping you safe, Adam and Sam?
They're engaging a little bit. I do have to continue to tell them our opinions don't matter. Our opinions don't matter. We're here to ask questions and get the message out. I want their message to get out. I want everybody to know why they're here and what they're hoping to accomplish. But
yeah, but that's not going to be. It's not going to be easy to do. But some of them do not want to engage. They they want their 5 minutes or 15 minutes of fame, for that matter. They think what they're doing is important. So if you do get a chance to do it, just, I guess, videotape it as best you can. Please be careful. Tell the guys to make sure that you are to be protected. Okay?
I will remind them. Yes, dear.
All right. I love you. I will be driving down there in a little bit. What? Oh, yeah.
I did have a couple of women pull out their cameras and surprise, I'm Roseanne on the radio, taking my picture and video and stuff. So you might see my face randomly pop up on some Facebook or wherever they're going to.
Wait a minute. Are these people familiar with who you are?
No, I don't think they know who I am. But I was told shame on you when I told them who I'm with. So that was interesting.
Shame on you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Be careful. Mama Bear in Mansfield says, thank you, Roseanne, for covering this story. So you've got a lot of support out of here. Be careful. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Bye.
All right. Protect my lady, gentlemen.
Hey,
yes.
Reese wanted me to tell you guys.
Anyway. So that's the way, I guess, it goes. Now, I will admit, folks, when I get down there and I start talking to people, it'll probably be a different story. There won't be any rabble-rousing. There won't be any, talking smack, jumping up in my face. I just to let you know that will not be happening. I'll simply just look at them, and if one of these people jump in my face, I'll simply look at them like they've got 3 heads. They'll get the impression. I mean, not that I'm an intimidating figure. You wouldn't call me intimidating, would you, Roland? Right? I'm not an intimidating guy. I'm just kind of a regular schmo. Right? Nobody should. You think those folks would be intimidated by me if I walk up there and just ask, hey, so what are you here for? I'm going to do it in a very casual way. Hey, what's your name? Hi. Hey, Chad. So tell us why you're here. I think they'd be willing to talk to me, don't you think? I think so. I think they would. Get that bail money ready. Let's go to the phones. Jeremy is in Waterbury. Hello, Jeremy.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, sir. What do you got?
I was listening to the radio in one of the commercials between your show. Lamont gave a statement.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I thought I heard Tim Waltz give a statement, and they seemed pretty similar.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like just.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I thought by now they would know. Everyone understands that you guys have the same narrative. You say the same thing. Why do they continue doing that though? We're not dumb.
It's the crazy part about it is, right? So both of these leaders, in essence, right, are supposed to be, in some way, I would say, supportive of the law enforcement arm of what they do, right? In essence, keeping checks and balances as it comes to public safety and dealing with ICE agents or police officers. To have Ned Lamont once again find a way to demonize those who wear the badge, no matter what capacity they do, would show that this guy does not deserve to be in leadership.
And why can't they just say that in their own words? They could deliver the same message, and people would probably respect them more.
Well,
you could say the same statement with the same charismatic tone, but you don't have to say the same words.
Well, I'm going to say a large group of that, of a large part of that is Pravda. The objective is to repeat it so that everyone repeats it. They're all on the same page, so you hear it everywhere. You're right that any civil-minded person would see them as, mind-numb robots repeating the same thing without any context, right, or any reason. Because if you get them to repeat the same thing, all you have to do is, you break that shell of that mantra by saying, but what does that mean? And they will tell you, well, it means what I said it does. So I know what exactly does it mean that you just said? And it's never as deep as that. So what Lamont does is repeat what Walz says, and then what Walz says, Gavin Newsom repeats. But then when you get them down to the bare facts of, okay, tell me what that statement means, they wouldn't give an answer to you because the only thing they've been told to do is repeat the refrain.
Yep. Well, I love the show, man, and I'm happy Roseanne's on the show. She's a great addition to it, and
thank you.
It's very cool that she's down there. Kudos to her.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for saying that. She's going to be absolutely over the moon when she hears that. Thank you, man.
I love your dialogue between each other on the radio. It's awesome. I have the same type of thing with my wife. It's great to hear.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, man. Happy New Year. Let's go to Mike in Colebrook, who's on the line. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Reese.
Hey, sir. What's up?
The Intimidator.
I'm not the Intimidator.
Oh, let me tell you something, my friend. I want you to go back a couple of months when you first came back to Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't in yet, but it was like, the second week in September.
Okay.
And you went to an event in Massachusetts.
Oh, wait a minute. What was the event?
It was a big, what do you call it? Fair.
Okay.
And I saw you, and I swear to this, but I got to get it out of my head here. It was you and Roseanne.
Okay.
You were both in a coma in a vibrating, laid-back easy chair.
Okay.
You had your shoes off. They were huge.
Oh, my goodness.
A little pair of boots right next to you with Roseanne. And you guys were in a coma, and I was going to go up to you like the Geico lizard there. And I was going to ruin your session.
Well, thank you for not ruining it, and I appreciate
But I did not.
That's very kind of you. I appreciate it.
And I was able to recognize you in a horizontal fashion there, and that's not really a good thing to say, or I don't know how I know that, but...
Well, nonetheless...
The little boots gave it away.
The little boots gave it away?
Yeah, Roseanne's little boots.
Much appreciated. How you doing otherwise, sir?
I'm doing fine. I'm having a good year. It's going to be better than last.
I hear that. Congratulations to that. Thank you so much. We are going to get up out of here, man, but thank you so much. I appreciate your call.
You got it. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it, sir.
Bye.
So that's it. I'm going to head out to Hartford to go check out what's going on. We'll record that. We'll put it all together in a package tomorrow, and we'll report on it as we always do. Roseanne will be back here. And she'll tell us about her experience as it went on. We'll take some stuff from her as well, and see if we can get some audio sound bites from it as well. Even the people who are, you should be ashamed of yourself. God bless them. God bless all of them. But we'll get to it. Watch your local news. Well, at least WFSB. I understand they're the only ones who are down there. But we're going to be down there. So if you be careful if you're planning on going down there. Please, don't go there and do the counter protest stuff. Those things are never ever they're never worth it, so to speak. It's just people screaming, and let them have this space. Let them have this. This is what they do. Let them do that. You don't need to counter protest anything like that. I'm sure there will be some people who will. But don't waste your time. This is about something else. This is grandstanding, literally, on the backs and the death of this woman. There is nothing about it that they can celebrate because, sadly, this is about them. It is not about her. She is useful to these folks. So I'll do what I can. Excuse me. I'll do what I can to get all the information that we can. As it pertains to that. All right, it's time for me to get up out of here. You guys be easy. It's a wonderful night tonight, so be careful and be safe out there. I got to grab up all this Chinese food and put it in the car, and then we'll go. what is it Jason wrote? He says, liberal Democrats don't answer questions. They go straight to name calling and yelling. Yes, they do. That's what they do. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese On The Radio. You have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Mark Christopher, he's getting you home and home safely. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. I'm doing the Cabbage Patch.
Looking good there, Reese.
That was the dance, baby. That was the dance.
Fight the power.
Yeah, what was her name? Rosie Perez? Doing the running man?
Have a great night.
Thank you, man. You too.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of 91, you got delays 33 down to 32 A and B. And then you're going to slow approaching exit 19 down in Meriden on 91 South. If you're traveling westbound 84, a little tap